at Delaware Speedway, where tonight the APC Championship is on the line. It's been all J.R. Fitzpatrick to kick things off, but Adam Ross, Jamie Maudsley, this battle is long from over.
It's so important for so many of these teams to finish the year on a high note, and the teams have shown up. 29 quality prepared race cars are here to do battle. 28 of them don't give a damn about J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Now this track is a track like we talked last night, Jamie Maudsley, that can really eat up a race car fast, because when things go wrong at Delaware Speedway, there are usually big accidents.
It can lead to problems for sure, but the biggest thing tonight is just that raw speed that this new surface has helped create. I think you're going to see in qualifying tonight, a lot of guys already under the track record. It's 4 years old. It's going to get smashed in qualifying tonight.
Well, the pressure tonight is all on J.R. Fitzpatrick. It's his championship to lose, and our Clinton Jeffrey is down trackside to talk with him.
Thanks, guys. We're standing by with the guy who really has the most to lose tonight, J.R. Fitzpatrick. You come in with a big lead. You know, things are going the way you want. Are you points racing? Are you going for the win? What's the plan tonight?
Obviously, I would love to go for the win, obviously. But really, you just got to be careful. Last time I tried to go for the win, it cost me quite a bit. So I think really we're just going to ride around and just stay comfortable. I mean, the car's okay right now, but everybody's so close. We just need to get a little more out of it, I think. But comfort-wise, we're there.
How painful is it for you, JR, to just points race?
It sucks. I mean, the last Sauble race was brutal. I hated it for my crew. I hated it for everyone that watched. And for me, it just sucks. But you know what? We want to be champions when we leave here, so we got to do what we got to do.
Right on. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Well, J.R. Fitzpatrick, guys, as we talked, the big story here, he's dominated most of the season. Can he get it done tonight?
First on the docket tonight will be qualifying. That'll be critical tonight with 29 cars in attendance. You want a good starting spot to get things going.
And Greg, Jamie, one of the things we have to remember, all year long, we've got about 18 to 20 drivers who race together week in and week out. You throw in just an extra 10 drivers that everyone's not used to, it makes qualifying critically important. You don't want to be in the pack tonight.
And the track tonight, Jamie, is super fast. We've already seen Brandon Watson lay down a really quick lap, in fact, a record-breaking lap in practice.
Well, Brandon Watson's an APC legend, and this is one of those races. This is the Super Bowl for stock car racing in this area. We're going to see a legend created here tonight to join the famous drivers that won here in the Great Canadian. We'll see if JR can do both.
Well, when we come back, it's qualifying time for the APC Series as they settle their championship right here on G-Force TV.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rear-view mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
I heard about a new product line at NTN called Kize. Can you tell me about it?
It's true, Kelly. Kize is NTN's new range of spherical roller bearings protected by steel shields fixed on the cage on both sides. It's an unprecedented solution, and it's exclusive to NTN.
Does NTN Kize outperform an open spherical roller bearing?
Absolutely. NTN's Kize's metal shields will keep out solid particles, dust, and other contaminants, while also keeping grease in. This results in a longer bearing life, reduced maintenance, and overall increased performance.
That's impressive. Will our users need to do anything different during the installation to accommodate the NTN Kize?
Not at all, Kelly. NTN's Kize spherical roller bearings are directly interchangeable with a standard open bearing. Same housing, same accessories, same installation procedure as they use now.
Wow, James. Look, a direct drop-in. What great news.
Yes, Kelly, it sure is. And with a minimum lifespan twice that of an open spherical roller bearing, NTN's Kize delivers the ultimate bearing experience.
Now let's get some of these out into the market, James.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy, crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Welcome back live to Delaware Speedway for the Great Canadian Weekend. I'm Greg Kelman. With me, Adam Ross. Jamie Maudsley up here in the tower. Clinton Jeffrey is down trackside as we prepare for APC Series qualifying, group qualifying here tonight. A few cars going through the room of doom right now, so that has us a little behind. And as Jamie mentioned off the top, Adam, we've had some rain move through the area earlier this afternoon, so we are a little bit behind schedule, but pretty close.
Pretty close, and I mean, certainly enough in the evening. Saturday night special. It's about time we get things rolling, so really, you give up 15 minutes or half an hour, there's lots of time built into the schedule to make it work. We've already done our qualifying heats for the OSCAAR portion of the program, so really, are we behind?
And, of course, we had a driver taken away in the ambulance last night.
Yep.
Tate O'Leary. I'd like to update you on the condition of the 28K. Tate did suffer a concussion last night. He's home resting. Said he's very sore, but he definitely said to be watching tonight on G-Force. So Tate, miss you here. Glad to hear you're going to be okay, my friend. And it was a tough lick there last night at the start of the Quick Super Stock race.
Yeah, glad you're able to watch tonight. That's a good sign. If you're able to tune into G-Force, it means he's in better spirits today, and obviously that was tough to watch. You don't want to see, even though we heard throughout the episode there that he was talking to the safety officials, still very concerning because you don't know exactly what the details were, and obviously concussion is a serious injury, more so than what we thought, even 10 years ago. So we're glad to hear that he's resting, and he's got racing on his mind that he wants to be back.
Well, when they arrived on scene last night to him, he was said his lower back was sore. So as soon as that happens, you've got a back or neck injury, they're going to get the pros here to get you out of the car, right, and get it done right. So, the most important thing at the end of the day, hopefully Tate's going to be okay and back here at Delaware Speedway sometime soon.
And take all the time they needed. That's what was really important. Clinton Jeffrey standing by with track champion on pit road.
Raymo, how's it going, bud? Ray Morneau Jr., big weekend for you, Ray. Champion here at Delaware. All the outsiders come to your playground tonight. Can you get it done here tonight? And, of course, big day tomorrow with your NASCAR Series debut.
Yeah, we're hoping to. We're not great right now, but we threw a lot at it here for qualifying, and we're going to see what we can do. But once the race starts, you don't know what's going to happen, right? The night's going to set in, and track's going to change, and we can just hope we get better through the race and are up at the front.
Let's talk about some of the people who helped you with your NASCAR debut that's coming up tomorrow. And what do you know about the car, Ray? Have you had a chance to drive it, sit in it? What kind of experience have you got getting into it tomorrow?
Yeah, we got to come out here last Saturday, and they're a lot different than the late model. I can tell you that. They're a handful. They're kind of like a super stock with more power, but a ton of fun. So I got to thank the John Arch Group, number one. They put the whole deal together. John and Ryan, they did a heck of a job getting everything together. We got Render Construction, East Elgin Concrete Forming, Brandt, GFL, Tricorp, Jeans Carpentry, Expressway Trucks, and then that's about it. We have some silent guys that just pitched in, and one guy I was very, very shocked by. I couldn't believe he helped me out, but pretty cool, and hope we have a good night here.
How about it, Delaware fans? Your champ's going to make his NASCAR debut tomorrow afternoon right here. Good luck tomorrow, Ray.
Thank you.
And tonight. Up to you guys.
Great work, Clinton Jeffrey. He will be on the scene tonight up and down pit road. He does take requests, folks, so send in your text. I like to see how far we can get him to run because it is a long way from turn 4 to turn 1. So at some point tonight, we're going to call out an issue in turn number 4 because I'm sure Clint will be hanging out towards the turn 1 end where the points contenders are.
With my broken back running down the pit road.
Listen, you didn't call a sub. You took on the role. You got to do it now.
We're going to make it. We're going to have a great night here. The weather's holding off, and it's going to be an awesome night down here on pit road. Glad we can bring you those stories. And looks like we're getting ready to call drivers to the car. I just seen Gibber point down and tell them to get moving. So we'll get back to you with a couple stories here shortly, Adam.
Well, we just got notification that the 50-50 is ready to be drawn, Clint. So we were going to wait till you walked all the way down to turn 4, but yeah, there you go. You're on the way back to the start-finish line. 50-50 folks will be joining us. Adam, one of my favorite people to run into at the racetrack is Dan Price, the cowboy. Like, absolutely phenomenal guy. It's his daughter Cambry's 19th birthday today, and happy 19th birthday. The cowboy Dan Price's daughter Cambry is 19 today, so hope she's enjoying spending her birthday weekend here at the racetrack.
I got to think any weekend with Dan Price is going to be a good time.
And I'm not sure if they can hear me in the pits, but we're asking the drivers to go to their cars, please. Drivers to the cars. If you can hear us on pit road, it's time to find your driver. So 50-50 folks should be on their way down to do the. There they go. They're on their way to see you, Clint.
So last night, the 50-50 was well over $2,000. I can only imagine what it is tonight. And in fact, so the KW Cycling Club, I look at the fella down trackside doing the talk. I think, man, that looks like Rob Good. It is. Rob Good was one of the founders of the Waterloo Regional Kart Club back in, I think, 1981. Raced with him for a long time. He raced with your flagman, Scott Mackey. Like a lot of people have history.
He used to race mini sprints too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Yes, so he would have run here at Delaware.
Yeah.
Now he's into cycling and very fit and very healthy. But if you could bottle energy, Rob Good can produce a lot of it.
All right, well, here we go. We'll turn it over.
Just want to thank all the Delaware Speedway fans. Last night we had a draw of $2,040. Tonight we upped the ante a little bit. We went maxed out at $2,500 to the winner. Purple ticket, 394041. 394041. We're in corner 1. Our tent's there. Thank you for supporting youth sports in Ontario, guys. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, if you can do that on the infield, that would be great. Thanks, guys. Awesome.
Like some of the drivers getting buckled in. And I know we had the chance to talk about this earlier today, Adam. There was a lot of talk last night about hot dogs, okay? A ton of talk about it. So for those of you who missed it, Glenn Stiers punctured the rad last night, and we suggested they go make a visit to the concession stand for a hot dog bun. And literally my significant other on the way, to the campground last night said, were you guys kidding about that? Because it sounds like it's something you almost would kid about, but no, it's actually true. So I got a text this morning, okay, from the fellow we saw win the Quick Wick Superstock championship last night, Pete Vanderwist. And Alex Nagy, if he's here, might be able to confirm it. He said he got this tip from Sam Rouse, who was Alex Nagy's crew chief, and they were like, there's no way that will work. They tried it Edmonton Road Course in 1998. Pete Vanderwist, they fixed the rad and survived till the end of the race with a hot dog bun in the rad. So we weren't joking about that.
Don't. The things you learn being around the racetrack, you've got to make do sometimes.
Did find out last night a blister problem on that Carson Nagy car. Got to see the tires, and just looking at the one side of the tire while it was sitting in the rack, you got to see about a third of the surface. There were 6 good-sized blisters in there. and they'd only been out on the track for 3 or 4 laps. So a tire that didn't cure properly was the biggest cause of the problem for the 93 last night.
Isn't that strange? And that didn't happen to anybody else, did it?
But we have had it happen a couple other times
Really?
this year at Delaware in the weekly stuff. Just got the bad tire. Tough break for Carson Nagy. He's got spotting duty tonight, actually. I believe he's calling the shots for the 10 of Jesse Kennedy here this evening.
So it looks like Trayton Lapsevich, last car to get in line down on pit road as we get ready for group qualifying for the APC series.
I did say in the opening that the record was 4 years old. I apologize. It was 4 years old until Trayton Lapsevich busted it last year in September. But, again, we're thinking that's going to fall here today. We've got our guesses out. I picked 7. I say you're going to see 7 guys break the record. Greg's got 4. Adam?
I'm going to go with 9.
9? Wow.
Everyone is so darn close that I think if one does it, a bunch of them are going to do it. And as I look at these groups, yeah, that's my guess.
Clint, we're going to get you in on this?
Clint's eating hot dogs. Looking to fix some radiators.
Fixing rads.
So as always, qualifying will come out in groups. There's going to be 6 groups today. The first 3, in fact, the first 5, will have 5 cars each. The last will have 4. Jamie, did we get confirmation how many cars will start the feature tonight?
The max that I had heard pre-weekend was 32, and there's 29 here. So, no, everybody's going to be racing tonight.
Okay, sure. I heard the same thing. I just wanted to confirm that.
And for those of you who've been following the tour but haven't been seeing what's going on here on a Friday night, in addition to Ray Morneau, you want to keep your eyes peeled for another newcomer, Connor Pritico, in the 19. I believe this is the first APC start for Connor. If he didn't start last fall, but the top dog at the Pritico stable now soon, because I wouldn't be surprised if this weekend we might see our last of Matt Pritico racing.
I think he did compete last year, but it might have been the July race because I do recall him in one event.
I know he did not
year.
race this July because they were scrambling to get Matt's car fixed and ended up taking a bunch of parts off of Connor's and Frankenstein one car together. So, so Connor had to sit that one out, but apparently they found some spare parts for tonight. Connor was one of the 3 drivers in the thick of that championship race. Him, Ray Morneau, and Kyle Steckley were pretty much neck and neck all summer long. Pritico ended up finishing second by a nose over Steckley, but a lot of talent there behind the wheel of that 19 car. And, I mean, it just bodes well for the future late model competition when you've got Ray Morneau, Kyle Steckley, and Connor Pritico graduating from a track like this.
A lot of young talent out there. And this is what the series wants, right? You want to go to each home track that they travel to and have a couple of stars that are local talent, like Connor Pritico, Ray Morneau, and have all your traveling group come in and race with them. Because it's really, we talk so much about what the series has done, but what it's also done is fed a lot of used late models that can be run at Peterborough Speedway, Flamborough Speedway, Sauble Speedway, all over the place. And that's the idea. That's what you want, is a healthy funnel, a healthy feeding group.
And that's what the World Outlaws make their living on, is that, there's 8, 10, 12 guys that follow the tour. It's when they go to Williams Grove, all the local guys show up. I think it's great that that's happened. I think it's great. Again, we've talked about it before, the rules package is getting all lined up. So you can race your late model everywhere.
Remember, Rick Spencer-Walt last night suggested the reason he did not go faster in the Superstock is they hadn't built enough heat up in the engine. So I would imagine we're going to see a lot of these cars get fired up, try to build some heat. We see the one finger going up, and it's the pointer finger. It makes a difference. So I believe we're telling the drivers 1 minute.
Eric Della Riva there, the first car that will roll off. Blair Wickett in tow. If you've never been to Delaware Speedway and you're watching on GeForce TV, I highly suggest it. As you can see the track down inside the hill there, and just from the first time I ever came here, I just fell in love with this place, the atmosphere. None like it.
It just feels like a racetrack.
It does.
It just feels like a racetrack.
The 74 is Eric Della Riva out of Dundas in the SDR seating. Stage It With Style, Nick's Journey-sponsored machine. He comes to a stop on the back straightaway. Second car to come out, he's from Cambridge, the 97. It's the Polar Blair. Blair Wickett in the Vincent Lawn Equipment, number 97. Looks like Della Riva got sorted out. He's back up to speed. The number 86 is from Guelph, the Spira Fire Protection. High-grade steel roofing systems, 86 is Billy Schwarzenberg. 45 is out of West Lorne. The Simon Motorsports 45 is Barry Watson. And last but not least, from Ohsweken, Ontario, it's the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers, and the GSR Ohsweken Speedway sponsored number 0. Stiers looking to race all 3 days here this weekend, getting a lot of seat time, fellas.
Barry Watson, a new driver to the series. He's a longtime enduro and V8 stock competitor here at Delaware Speedway. Got his feet wet this year. They purchased a couple late models. He is in that 45 late model right now. You'll see Brandon Watson coming out later in the car that Barry drove all summer long. Barry ended up being our Rookie of the Year here at Delaware Speedway in the weekly late models.
First few cars going under the stripe, getting their time. Glenn Stiers last of those. Right now it's Blair Wickett at the top of the pile, but he's got an even keel right now with Billy Schwarzenberg, and now Blair Wickett jumps to the top of the pile.
They're going to have to go a little bit quicker. We expect they might dip into the 17-second bracket. Right now it's an 18.287. That's the fastest lap.
That is close to the record. We're 10th off the record right now, and these are the slow guys. The guys who struggled in practice. So
I just want to have a look at the number. I want to stare at it so I know where we're at. So I can count. What I call 9 cars, we're going to break that mark of 18.146. Blair Wickett half a tenth off of that with an 18.221 as the white flag flies.
Kind of what we saw last night with the later laps or where we're seeing the faster speeds.
We saw a lot of lap 5 being the fastest lap last night, which is not something we're used to seeing. Blair Wickett did it again. His fastest lap was lap 5 in 18.212.
Too far off that record here in the first group, and again they line up in invert order of practice speed, so the fastest guys would go at the end. For those of you who are unfamiliar with our starting procedure, basically if you can put up a top 10 time, you lock yourself into the top 10, and then the cars are inverted based on point standings and attendance. So what we mean by that is the top point guys are going to start 10th, 9th, 8th back there. The only way they're going to start in front of people is if somebody qualifies in the top 10 who doesn't have full attendance on the season.
First car to roll out, that number 10 machine out of Southampton. Graham Family Auto Carquest, Gingrich Service Center, Tom Gibbons Concrete Finishing. Number 10 is Tom Gibbons. Next in line from Carlisle, the Transport Trailer Sales Glider Tarp System Specialized Recycling. Number 27 is Matt Box. The Paragon Auto Trim of Barrie, number 10S, is out of Oro. That's Gord Shepard. The Custom Forming Walls, Bonsma Brother Concrete Pumping, number 79. He's out of Fraserville. That's James Horner. And last out from Plattsville, the London Recreational Racing, number 89C of Sean Chenoweth.
Here we saw a number of people go faster than the track record in practice. That was on old tires. They've all got the Mr. Feelgoods bolted on now. And the times start coming in. Tom Gibbons up to 5th. Matt Box at 7th.
And they're mid to high 18-second laps as they build the temperature up in these American race tires.
Epic pole qualifying underway right now.
Good lap there by Tom Gibbons. 18.290 on his second lap, so if he can continue to build time here as each lap goes by. Sean Chenoweth 18.205, quickest so far.
Half a tenth off the record.
And we're talking hundredths of a second separating drivers. An 18.205 compared to a 212 by Blair Wickett, a 238 by Billy Schwarzenberg. Small fractions of seconds.
Last time out, Sunset Speedway, 25 cars, the top 21 were separated by 0.4 of a second. You just don't get any closer than that. Gord Shepard to the top of the board. How about this with a 201?
Now Sean Chenoweth, his last 2 laps have been slower than lap 2. So let's see if he can make it a big one to finish things off. Right now it's Gord Shepard at the top, 18.181. 4/100ths of a second off of a track record. Chenoweth loses a little bit of speed there on that final lap. So Blair Wickett hanging out up in that 3rd spot. Tom Gibbons 4th in the number 10. Billy Schwarzenberg 5th in the 86.
Hate to say it, but Adam might be right by the time this is done. Or at least closest to.
It could be nobody goes faster.
That's true.
Oh, no, somebody's going to go faster.
Beautiful looking Ridgeline sponsored number 17 out of Chesley. It's Josh Stoddy. Windsor is the hometown for the 03 machine. Track champion in the Jar Excavating. A-Rock Aggregates 03 of Ray Morneau. Sauble Beach is where this driver calls home. The Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park, CUSW, Canadian Union of Skilled Workers. Stewart's Equipment number 81 of Andrew Gressel. Dale Shaw drives the 83. He's out of Guelph. The NTN Bearings Wellington Systems number 83. And the last car in this group giving himself lots of room, always good in qualifying. From Norwood, the SMG Motorsports GTA Racing Designs, number 29 of Ryan Kimball.
Green flag in the air. Stoddy will be the first one on the clock. It's good to see him run some Friday night races here at Delaware Speedway. This past summer came down for a number of our events. And then, of course, picked up that first win of the year at Sauble. Back in the first event at Sauble in 2022. So Stoddy on a roll, first career victory earlier on this year, and comes into tonight 4th in points.
Andrew Gressel 18.499, the quickest so far after the first lap. Kimball now 18.473. There's Stoddy up to 6th quick.
Oh, they're coming. The times they are coming. Ray Morneau 7th quick in the 03 machine.
Gressel up to P2 with a 188.
And I mean,
new track record.
There you go. Josh Stoddy.
Looking at a fast lap is so challenging here at Delaware because the cars look so similar out on the racetrack, and we're talking hundredths of a second, thousandths of a second is the difference between fast and faster.
Stoddy goes even quicker with an 18.072, 18.090 for Gressel. Shepard, Chenoweth, Wickett, your top 5. And Dale Shaw now up to P3 with an 18.176. And Stoddy goes even quicker on his final lap in 18.058 for primetime Josh Stoddy.
Repeatable speed is an important thing. In stock car racing, it's one thing to go fast. It's another thing to be able to go fast lap after lap. Dale Shaw's final lap was his fastest. So far we've got 3 drivers under the track record.
We still got a lot of guys left to go.
A whole lot. First one's out of Mount Bridges. The Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, Cameron Crane, number 52, Jake Sheridan. Up next out of London, the London Drive Systems, number 77, Darrell Lake. The 54 machine is the Mobile One BMW Enterprises Number 54 out of Orono is Danny Benedict. 21's from right here in London. The global warranty number 21 of Matt Pritico. And last but not least, double duty here tonight for the driver from Southwold. The Dad's Auto Parts. Number 10, Jesse Kennedy.
Sheridan comes into tonight, 10th in points. Danny Benedict, 6th in points. And Jesse Kennedy, a multi-time winner of the Great Canadian Race.
Remember back here in July, Matt Pritico had that hard crash on the back stretch off of corner 2.
Connor James and there's 3 black cars involved.
Took Connor James out of commission for a number of weeks. So now it's going to take a lot longer. Now that our timing and scoring screen, we've had enough cars come out, it's going to take lap after lap for drivers to start to pop into our screen here. Nobody has broken in just yet to the top 10. How about that, Jake Sheridan? Right to the top.
Josh Stoddy, former track record holder. Jake Sheridan, new track record holder. 15:024 for Jake the Snake. Winner at Sauble back in 2020.
I was just going to say, there's no reason why he's not about to lay down a 17-second lap. 17.966.
Pritico just went P3. Kennedy just turned the 6th quickest lap. So far, we've got 6 drivers that have bettered the record.
Benedict jumps up to 3rd. Pritico 2nd. 18.023 for Pritico.
Session about to end. Checkered flag in the air for Jake Sheridan, who lost a little bit of time there on his final lap.
I think I said 7 guys would beat the record, so we should just end qualifying right now. Yeah. And you see some drama on pit road. One of your championship contenders, the hood up on Kyle Steckley's car. Steckley 2nd in points coming into tonight, chasing J.R. Fitzpatrick by 20 markers.
Clinton Jeffrey on his way down towards turn number 4. Let's see who's in our next qualifying group, and then we'll check in with Clint. The number 19 out of London, the Burwell Auto Body, Glencoe Auto Recyclers 19 is Connor Pritico. The 28K from St. Thomas, the Castrol Edge 28K is DJ Kennington. Our points leader, he's got a wide margin coming into today out of Cambridge. The Cambridge Rigging Transaxle H2Go Mobile Wash 84 is J.R. Fitzpatrick. 31W out of Oro Medonte, the Caldecott Millwright Services number 31W is Rick Spencer Walt. And the 8 machine is out of London. The Rico Foods Cash and Carry Crown Rust Control number 8 is Patrick Friel. So we are down to the final groups here.
Friel looks like he's running the 8 for Jordan House here today.
So Jake Sheridan is guaranteed to be in the top 10 invert. We've got 9 cars left. That's including Kyle Steckley if he's able to get things sorted out.
Well, they've got the hood up here, Adam. As you mentioned, they're working on the distributor cap. We'll get back to you after this group's done.
Sounds like an easy fix. It's just going to make for a long night for that 22 coming from the back.
Here you see DJ Kennington, the Castrol Edge machine. See what he can do. There's J.R. Fitzpatrick, the point leader, coming into tonight.
We watch for names to start to appear on our screen. They're still a little bit slower. There's Connor Pritico, jumps all the way up to 3rd. DJ Kennington cracks into the top 10.
3rd quick for JR on his 2nd lap. Rick Spencer Walt now second quick. Jake Sheridan, though, well, there we go. Connor Pritico, I was about to say, the only one under that 18-second bracket, but Connor Pritico will join Jake Sheridan, 17.989.
Now, these drivers are slowing down. All of them ran their third lap slower than the rest, but Connor Pritico, 17.928, puts the 19 at the top of the chart.
How about that? P1. In what we believe is the second ever APC start. Spencer Walt, P2. And we've now got 12 drivers who have broken the previous track record.
So if the next 3 cars break the track record, that will be more than half the field here today. Coming in under that record. Clinton Jeffrey, tell us what's going on pit road.
Yeah, down here the Steckley crew going to work. It's an electrical issue on the 22, guys. They've got the distributor cap off, trying to find some ignition fire here under the hood of this machine. It has not been successful. They've had the distributor cap on and off. They're messing with all the electronics and inside the cockpit as well, guys. So as Jamie mentioned, going to be a long night for these guys. I'm sure they'll get it fixed, but still, he's going to have to start from way in the back.
And you can hear that car turning over and turning over. I see Mike Knott there in the screen. I mean, there are a lot of talented crew people down there checking things out. Scott Steckley with his head in the driver's window. Let's tell you who's on the track out of Stainer. The 9 machine is Brandon Watson. The 3 is from Dorchester. It's the APC Auto Parts Center's Canusa Automotive Warehousing Miami Muscle Ford of Shea Gemmel. And last up, just 3 cars out there, the Tricorp. Number 32 from Grimsby, it's Trayton Lapsevich.
And a big shout out to Trayton's Uncle Jim. He was supposed to make the trek down here, but they got a sick boy at home, so Jim unable to make the trek. How's this one for you? He did offer another idea for our V8 stock penalty. He said put a barrel down on pit road in 1 and 2, and they got to do a full 360.
Well, I thought about that at the entrance to the backstretch pits. You could do something like that.
Back in the day when we first bone stocked raced here, we had barrels out on the track in the middle of 1 and 2, in the middle of 3 and 4. And they would race around the barrels, down pit road, around the other barrel, and then down the front stretch in an effort to try to keep speeds down.
And now they've thrown caution to the winds. They let them go fast.
Throw 50 of them out there. There's lots of traffic to contend with.
Nobody has broken in yet to the top 10 as this qualifying session moves along.
We'll see if Trayton Lapsevich can take back that record that he lost about 10 minutes ago.
He's up to 6th now. Shea Gemmel 9th, Trayton Lapsevich 6th. Brandon Watson still not able to crack into that top 10.
Shea Gemmel up to 4th quick, and he's under that 18-second mark.
The white flag is out for Brandon Watson. Continues to turn laps. Where is Brandon Watson coming in? We'll have to scroll down. He is 12th quickest right now. Last chance to do it for Brandon Watson. He will not break into the top 10.
15 drivers. Better the track record.
See, I misunderstood. I thought it was going to be drivers in the 17-second bracket. There's 4 of those.
Go home, Greg.
There you go. Does that count for anything? I was way off, sorry.
Well, how about this? Andrew Gressel locked into the top 10 in that 81 machine. So important. I mean, 11th place has to be so disappointing. Although DJ Kennington, the best he would have started was 10th or 9th. He times in 11th. Same with Brandon Watson in 12th. The way they work the invert because they haven't run the whole season.
Well, this and the amount of barnstormers here tonight is going to mess up the starting grid, obviously, because you've got Pritico's not a full-timer. You've got
Lapsevich is not a full-timer.
I'm not sure if Matt Pritico has run every race. I believe he did miss one. Trey Lapsevich, not a full-timer.
Connor Pritico.
So you could see J.R. Fitzpatrick start somewhere in the 7th range here tonight.
Let's send it down to Clinton Jeffrey, who's with our fast timer.
Well, Connor, you got it done. A great field here tonight. You're qualifier number 1. That's a great start to your evening. What's the plan for tonight?
We're going to go out there and see how well we can do. It's my second APC start, so we're going to give them a run for our money.
You know, you've got a lot of experience here at Delaware this season, had some great runs. Let's talk about what you know that may be an advantage for you tonight that some of the outsiders might not know.
This track picks up a lot of grip when it gets cold, so we'll see what happens. You know, qualified pole, which is really good for our team. Second start again, so we'll see what happens.
Good luck tonight. Connor Pritico, guys, your number 1 qualifier here in the APC series.
And how nice was that? He told us it was his second outing with the APC series. Let's slip in a quick break here on G-Force TV. It is almost time to go racing. The OSCAAR Hot Rods are rolling onto pit road right now.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
I've always had the spirit that I wanted to invent something new. And so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it. And the only way that you would really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing it. That's my forte.
For over 100 years, our company has been unique, a world leader in high-precision products, fully committed to energy efficiency and friction reduction. Today is the day to start a new chapter, a new step of our company. Today is the day to share our vision, our contribution, our identity. At the heart of our DNA, there is a name, Namerica. We are NTN, and we make the world Namerica. We are all together. We design precision engineering. We believe in a fluid, mobile, and harmonious society. We build positive mobility. We are NTN, and with willingness, conviction, and humility, we make the world Namerica.
Welcome back live to G-Force TV for the Great Canadian Weekend here at Delaware Speedway, just outside of London, Ontario, as we get ready for the OSCAAR Hot Rods, brought to you by Quick Wick Fire Starter Cars, rolling onto the racetrack for our first of 3 features here tonight at Delaware. And this division always puts on a great show, but it's not always just the racing, Adam. They got some fantastic cars in this division.
That's just it. The fact that they race them and they rub, and unfortunately sometimes they wreck, but that's the result of racing hard. Great field of cars. Let's introduce this starting lineup.
Bill Zardo Sr. will start up front. He's from Brampton in the Cathcart Trucking, number 46. Paul Sr. in the 8 Junior out of North Bay will line up in the 2nd spot.
Starting 3rd in the 6 machine, out of Toronto, a 1967 T-Bird, that's Rob Brobling. And alongside of him in the number 5, it's Rob Starr.
Starting in the 5th position, that's where we'll find Jesse Kennedy in the 10K machine, the Dad's Discount Auto Parts machine. And alongside him on a heat race, one back here in July in the 26 car out of Brussels, it's Dalen Martin, the Leslie Motors 4.
The 44 is from Chatham. 64 Pontiac Laurentian, driven by Matt Hopkins. And the number 9 from Kitchener in 1968, AMC Ambassadors, Cole Weber.
Right behind Weber will be the 47 machine, Steve Book out of Brantford. That's a 1960 Studebaker Hawk, sponsored by Lafarge and Refractory Removal Services. And right behind him will be the 73 of Jordan Morris. He's from London in that 1966 Beaumont.
The number 86. It's a 1969 Ford Mustang. Out of Teeswater, it's Nick Clark in the Johns Towing Arctic Clear 86. And behind him, in the 00 from Elmira, the Elmira Harveys and Swiss Chalet Rural Roots Brewing Company. It's a 1971 Camaro for Trevor Thompson.
Up next will be the 15 machine. That's Dave Evison Sr. out of West Lorne. That's a 1965 Chevy, sponsored by St. Mary's Home Building Center. And right behind him in the 48, that's Connor Ellis out of Woodstock in that 1968 Chevelle, sponsored by Precision Specialized and Wilds Printing.
He did it. Abby flew under. I didn't realize that he could do it under yellow, but hey, what the heck? It's pretty impressive. Now, which 03 is that? Is that a 73 Camaro or a 67 Dart?
That one will be
67 Dart, I think, isn't it? Out of Cole Hill, the 03 is Gary Hanna. Alongside him, what the heck number is that beside that, Greg?
So that's going to be Steve Ecker on the inside, Gary Hanna on the outside. 2 03s in that same row.
Oh, sorry about that.
As the drone was just trading some paint with the 46. I don't know if you saw it during intros.
Oh, yeah.
He flew it through the wing and bounced it off the trunk. He flew the wing, bounced it off the trunk, and just went straight up in the air. So you can do it one more time here.
The 13 out of Port Perry in 1959 Pontiac Bonneville is Ryan Cowan as we have a look at the replay of him making it through.
No, that's live.
A little bit of contact, but Rubbin's racing. No, that was live.
Sorry, no. He's trying it again.
I got dizzy watching. And the 11 out of St. Thomas in 1969 Dodge is Ronald Parsons.
He just did it again.
The 0 out of Mount Forest, 1966 Pontiac Parisienne is Kyle Woods. 64 is Rick Verburn.
You've also got the 17 is actually Adrian Foster, and the 0 was Bill Clark. A couple of changes in a roster there. As the green flag is out, and it's Bill Zardo Sr. and Paul Sr. on the outside, side by side through 3 and 4.
Out of 4 they come. Could have put one lap up on the Coca-Cola Bud Light scoreboard. Bill Zardo, your leader. This time he's got Paul Sr. chasing him, not the drone.
Well, the Paul Sr. might hit him in the trunk just like the drone did, but time will tell. The top 3 single file and sorted out. The battle for 4th is side by side.
Jesse Kennedy and that Bromley 6 got pretty close off of corner 4 as Dalen Martin tries to get clear of them and works on the 5-star machine.
Good run by the 9, Cole Weber. Pulled right up on the bumper of Brumley. He's going to challenge that 6 car off turn 4.
That Jesse Kennedy number 10, that car looks stout.
Last night they raced in the V8 stock class. They were struggling with brakes in practice, but they got it fixed for the feature, and we saw how quick that car was in the heat race earlier on tonight.
So Zardo out in front over Senior. Then it's Starr, Martin, Kennedy, your top 5. Bromley with Weber all over his back bumper. Book right behind him. Single file right now through the field, but some battle shaping up as Weber slips to the inside of Bromley back there. That's the fight for the 6th spot.
Cole Weber victorious in his heat race. He won one, Zardo won the other. And we'll see what Weber can do down into one to the inside of Rob Brumley. Dalen Martin's also a heat race winner, putting the heat on Rob Starr down the backstretch.
Clutterbuck back to the infield again. So the 72 machine has not had a good run here tonight. Wasn't able to make the call in the heat. Now off early in the feature. As here comes Dalen Martin now to the inside of Jesse Kennedy. Settles back there into 5th as they roll through 1 and 2.
Kennedy's going to close that deal up into 4th now. Goes after Rob Starr. We got some contact down in 1. The 03 and the 64 of Rick Verburn getting together there. You see Dave Evison racing with that beautiful Beaumont of Jordan Morris. Morris has been running that most Friday nights here in the V8 stock class. Him and Dave Evison, regular combatants on Friday nights here at Delaware Speedway. There's that race for second now, down into 3.
Now Starr on the bottom, Kennedy on the outside. They're both going after Paul Sr. right now in that nice orange number 8 machine as they go down into corner 1. Kennedy right there on the back bumper. Here comes Martin around Starr. Good battle from second on back to 5th.
Watch how stout that 10 is in the outside lane. He gets to the outside. That time he slid way up the speedway. Martin's able to come back on the bottom. So does Rob Starr. Something's broken on the 10 machine.
Oh, what a bummer. He was quick out there, was Jesse Kennedy. Down to the bottom of the racetrack and off the speed. It looks like he's going to pull in off the backstretch, fellas.
I've never seen the announcer's jinx work so fast, Jamie. That's on you, I think.
Tough break for Jesse Kennedy again.
Wow.
He was trying to win one after last year's heartbreak when Steve Book got one late. And as you see that Discount Auto Part Depot and Supply 10 machine and the caution will fly. It's Kennedy not quite able to make it off the track. Well, it looks like he's going to be on his own power, but he's moving awfully slow through 3 and 4.
And you were right, though. He was using that outside line, really making up a lot of ground, and then just they went down there that last time in 3 and 4. You could tell something went awry on the 10K.
It's like he pitched it in on the outside and something just broke and it went right up the speedway.
Said, nope, not this time.
Didn't see any tires down while he was circulating.
No, that was my first reaction. I thought it looked like maybe the right front had gone down or something, but it seemed okay. So he'll park it over there in the pit area and
hop in a late model.
Yeah.
I guess it's got to be refreshing. I mean, you think you're going to have a bad night at the track because you get a DNF, but if you've got that second car, it's like a do-over, right?
And he's got a decent start for the APC race, starting 15th, mid-pack.
I'll tell you what, they've had that car out here pretty religiously for the last 6 to 8 weeks in Friday night competition. And about 2 races ago, they really found some stuff in that car. And all of a sudden, from one Friday night to the next, they picked up 2.5 tenths of a second in that car. They found some stuff that just wasn't right. And the last 2 Friday nights, I can't say he's been as fast as the 19 and the 22 and the 03, but he's been right there with them. So Jesse Kennedy, you have a good hot rod. And again, a lot of winning the Great Canadian or being up front of the Great Canadian's experience at Delaware, and he's got it done here in that race before. I believe he's got 4 Canada Day wins as well. To his credit, the big game hunter, Jesse Kennedy. Tough break here in the hot rods, but again, he'll be back in late model action later.
Good look at that replay where you could see the sparks coming out from the underside of the right side of the 10K machine as we get ready to go back to the green flag with Bill Zardo Sr. and Paul Sr. on the outside of the front row. Let's see the sights, hear the sounds. With a quick wick, fire it up. Around in the 17 will put us under the caution flag for the second time here today.
Pretty generous start by the 8 senior there.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, just having a chance to sit and watch that quick fire it up and some of the speed shots. We'll catch a replay here first on Foster. And just goes around, he's by himself at the back of the pack, spins.
The 5 and the 26 had a moment on that restart off turn 2. Star's car got loose, and he chased Martin all the way down the track before they got it straightened out.
I was about to say, watching some of those speed shots and some of the angles there on the fire it up, like, these aren't just drivers out for a Sunday drive in their vintage cars. These cars are hauling the mail out there.
Yeah, I mean, they're showpieces. Last thing they want to do is bend something, but they're still racers.
Yep. Well, you and I talked about that in July. Some of these cars, well, most of them, are like works of art. It's not like you said earlier on with the modifieds where there's some differences in them. We see that in this division as well. It's not like a late model where they look similar. They're snap-on pieces more or less and easy to replace. But these are works of art that some of these drivers have really put a lot of hours, just as much in the looks department as mechanically, really.
Yeah, we've seen some of the guys that were involved in that wreck not come back.
Yeah.
Jeremy Taggart, they don't have that 57 Chevy fixed. It was a beautiful piece. He hit the wall so hard on the entrance to turn 1, it broke the back pillar.
Yeah.
It just terrible impact. The junk parts for the 07 El Camino are sitting behind their shop right now. It will never race again. Tough break for those guys, but got a bunch of them here tonight. It's been entertaining so far, and we'll see what Billy Zardo Sr. learned from that last restart. And again, Paul Sr. with a pretty gracious start on the outside.
Still under the caution for another lap at least.
I believe they were giving the 17 a second to maybe fix whatever was ailing him, but work has slowed down in their pit area down in the turn 3 area. So 13 rolling back out onto the speedway as well. So they're not going to get the white flag till this time by. Brian Cowan out of Port Perry in that beautiful 13 machine. You see him rumbling off turn 2. No Tyler Hahn today. Figure we see that 2 car here.
Well, guys, we had that bet with Abby and Dave, and if you watch the big screen here, you'll see that Abby completed it. He did fly under the Superbird, and Dave paid off the money. So that was Abby winning the bet for flying the drone under the Zardo Superbird wing at speed. Cool deal.
But he's got to pay to paint a trunk after the race, though.
So what's the next task for Abby? I'm thinking the only thing tighter than doing that is getting between Adam and food.
I want a drone in-car shot of Bill Zardo at the wheel.
There you go. That's probably easier than getting between Adam and pizza, at least. All right, down the backstretch they go, and another good start there for senior Dalen Martin, rather in that second spot now as he'll slip by Zardo. They're side by side, and here comes a battle for the lead.
Martin takes a peek to the inside behind that. The scramble's on for third. Zardo still trying to hold off the 9 of Cole Weaver. Martin's to the inside of Paul Sr. Off turn 2 and down the backstretch. They're going to race for the lead into 3.
Good battle for the lead. Right behind that, Weaver and Zardo got pretty wiggly off the second corner. Things stacking up a little bit behind, but it's Dalen Martin to the top spot. Here comes Senior looking low in 1.
They're not done through 1 and 2. Dalen Martin now squirts out front. Your winner here back in July. He's got command of this one. 3 car lengths over Paul Sr., but that 9 of Cole Weaver is charging from third.
Martin out in front, Senior, Weaver, Zardo. And how about that 00 machine of Thompson as well, right up there inside that top 5. So we watch the battle for second on back.
Rob Rumley trying to bring that 6 machine to life. Now here's Weaver to the inside of Paul Sr. Off turn 4 again. Weaver, a lot of laps around this track. This is where he first started racing full-size vehicles. Trucks way back in the day. That would be close to 20 years ago. Cole Weaver now working on Paul Sr. This race for second still on down into 3.
Another time by the flag stand for Dalen Martin over Senior, Weaver, Zardo, and Thompson. Then you've got Bromley and Starr. Starr spent a lot of time in the top 5, has drifted back a little bit. Some sparks out of the right rear. Now troubles for the Thompson 00.
He had a whole handful of wheel off turn 2. That thing was stepping out on him. It put him right back into the grasp of Brumley and Rob Starr. Meanwhile, out front, all Dalen Martin's in that 26. The only car that might be as quick as him is the 9, and he's still got to deal with Paul Sr.
He's got there, but he just hasn't been able to pass him. He's got Zardo Sr. right behind him. As they come off the corner, Weber looks slow on Senior as they cross the stripe another time. 12 laps left to go.
I think if Weber's going to make his move, Greg, that's where he's going to do it, is on exit. He tries again, but Senior, whole lot of Humpty under the hood of that 8 machine, able to keep him at bay.
Dalen Martin commanding this one. Oh, Senior got all sorts of sideways. Now Bromley.
Star and Bromley just got into it off turn 4.
Book around as well.
Star was to the inside of Bromley, and they made contact. Bromley went around just back to the wall. Didn't see how the Studebaker of Steve Book got turned around in that mess.
There was a lot to watch there because Paul Senior came off the corner up in second spot. He was full on sideways, and then behind that was the Star and Bromley situation, and then Book went around. And he cleared Bromley.
So they're going to penalize the 5 of Rob Starr for being involved in that.
Here's a replay. We'll have a look. Hard to see what happened to Book there, but Bromley with some damage on the left front of that 6 machine. Book will get a push here. Let's have another look. Ah, there we go. Star get across that rumble strip there maybe, and
it was the second hit that, and it's tough. You know, we look at the way things look, and even the way they look on camera, what happens inside these cars doesn't always tell the full story.
Well, and we had almost the identical thing last night in turns 1 and 2 in the V8 stock race when Devin Bloomendale and Jesse Kennedy got together. It looked like Devin was on the outside and might have pinched him, but at the same time, because he was getting pinched, Jesse Kennedy had to hop on the brakes so hard the car just went straight and wouldn't turn. That's almost what happened there, where Starr started to pinch the 6 of Bromley, and then when Bromley got on the brakes hard enough to avoid getting into the 5 of Starr, the thing just didn't turn. Eventually, you put enough brakes into the car, it just will not turn. And how about this in the points battle? Steve Book came into tonight leading points. Bromley was second. Nick Clark third, Paul Senior fourth, and Bill Zardo in fifth.
Well, this will shake things up a little bit.
Well, Rob, you were able to drive the car for another lap, but you stopped here in turn 4. What's the situation?
It doesn't look good. Something's broke in the steering. I'm not sure they won't let me out of the car here, so I can't see exactly what's going on, but it looks like our night's over, so we'll have to move on to next week.
Tough break for Rob Bromley, guys. Yeah, his night's over. Steering issues, as he mentioned, here on the car number 6. What a gorgeous piece it is, but he'll be done for the evening, guys.
If he could see what we're seeing from the outside, he's best to just stay in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more beat up than he thinks it is.
Well, hopefully it's just cosmetic. There is damage, but not sure how much structural damage there might be on that machine.
Look at the campers.
Oh, that campground is packed. Absolutely packed. So, folks, if you're thinking about it, obviously if you're watching from home and you're not here, learn next year from your mistake and make it down to Delaware Speedway. Just a fun weekend, great atmosphere. But if you want to camp, you better book your camp spot as soon as you can because there is not much space in there.
Still some good seats left for tomorrow. If you're watching on TV and don't have plans for tomorrow, love to have you at Delaware Speedway for the Fall Brawl. Pinty's 250-lap season finale will crown a champion tomorrow afternoon.
How many champions were decided this weekend? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 last night, 1 tonight, 1 tomorrow.
And you didn't have to take your shoes and socks off or
Nope.
nothing there.
Nope, that was well within my range.
All right, so drivers called to double it up. 12 laps left on the board in this one. Should mention OSCAAR racing this weekend on G-Force TV, brought to you by St. Mary's Home Building Center.
These cars always look so good on camera.
So Martin will be the control car, but we saw Paul Sr. Be able to get a jump, so to speak, a couple restarts ago. The 9 of Cole Weber could be the quickest car on the track. He's just got to dispatch that 8 as quick as possible and go after the leader. See if Bill Zardo Sr. can rally back. And watch that 5 of Rob Starr, who had a decent run going. He fights his way through from the back of the field.
And Book going to come back out in that 47 machine. He'll make his way down pit road. He's going to be about half a lap behind.
Pace car off. Here we go, back at it. Quick fire starter. OSCAAR, hot rods. Senior on the outside again.
Good jump by Paul Sr. on the outside. Martin's going to pile it in. Martin goes right up into the second groove.
Oh!
Jordan Morris hit hard.
I don't know if that was an overcorrection or if he had some help snapping back like that, but Jordan Morris head first into the turn 1 wall, right into the Spectra Premium sign.
Put the driver's net down, so that's a good sign.
So down into the turn, they're 3 wide. He got hooked. Yeah, you get hooked and then overcorrect just a little bit. Report from the track is the driver is okay.
Nose of that car is not.
And Nick Clark slowing to see the scene. I don't know if his car just stalled or if he had a message he wanted delivered. Big break for Steve Book in that 47. He was the better part of a lap behind after being slow getting out of the pits. Let's look at this replay. 3 wide down into the turn.
There you go.
You can't divide 3 into 2. No way, no how. Tough break for Jordan Morris.
Three wide down into that corner is not a high percentage move. And I dare say it is usually the car on the outside that gets the short end of the stick.
So still 12 laps left to go on the board. This lap has been a hard one to get through here.
Well, guys, Jordan Morris has shortened this one up by about 6 or 8 inches. You can see the nose is flattened off as he's pushed it right into the concrete there and basically just mushed it all into a nice flat surface there. Going to have some trouble to get the hood off here. We get a look. The rad looks to be all right. Nothing leaking out of it, guys, but Jordan's got the helmet off. Jordan, are you okay? That's the first question.
Yeah, that was probably one of the hardest hits I've ever taken.
What happened out here?
I'm not really sure. We were going in, and then, I don't know, somebody got me in the left rear, and it just hard right, and off it went.
He's all right, guys. That's the main thing. Jordan Morris is good down here. The car, not so much.
Quite often, the impacts that look less spectacular are the harder impacts. Because, you know, if a car hits that wall and jumps up the wall, it's like, ooh, ah. But it dissipates a lot of that energy. All Jordan Morris's car did was stop. That puts a lot of impact directly onto the driver against those seatbelts.
Jordan, longtime bone stock competitor here at Delaware Speedway. Started playing around with the V8 stocks of the OSCAAR Hot Rods a few years ago. Just add a little two-man operation out of London. They always got a bunch of bone stock projects on the go. Good here. Jordan Morris is good. And we'll be back after a break here on Force TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rear-view mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Great Canadian weekend here at Delaware Speedway on GeForce TV. I'm Greg Kelman, with me Adam Ross, Jamie Maudsley, Clinton Jeffrey down trackside as we're ready to go back to the green flag here. The Quick Fire Starter OSCAAR Hot Rods, Dalen Martin, Paul Sr. will bring us back to the green. 12 laps left to settle it.
Still?
Still.
It's been a tough lap to get completed. Steve Book went back into the pits. Not sure what the crew did, but this time he gets to rejoin the field. He'll restart with the pack, and they are quickly back onto the throttle, coming off of turn number 4.
So Nick Clark was in a good position to pick up some points here. He's in the back of the 03, flat right rear on that machine down into 1, and Bill Zardo Sr. getting eaten up off turn 2.
Dave Evison's had a nice drive through the field here up to the 5th spot. Now here it is side by side. Weber on the bottom. Senior wiggles just a little bit in corner number 4. That corner's been tricky for the 8 machine.
And the 8 can't keep it on the bottom in 1 and 2. Drifts up to about 2.5 lanes and opens the door for Cole Weber to just squeeze on by. Zardo, some contact with the 44. They kept going, though.
Both of those cars were headed towards the butt of that wall on the back straightaway for a moment there, so good for them for getting them gathered back up.
48 Connor Ellis coming pit side, the Woodstock driver. Let's pull it on in.
Martin out in front, Weber in second, then Senior, Thompson, and Evison. So the top 5 changing just a little bit here. And how about Steve Ecker has worked his way up to that 3rd position, throwing a little smoke out of the way.
Field strung out all the way around, but this battle from 2nd right back through to 5th is a good one.
Cole Weber in the 9. Leads that parade off turn 2. He's able to open up another couple car lights over Paul Sr. He's going to have to deal with Thompson. 0-0, Trevor Thompson. Out of Elmira. They're starting to put the heat on the 8SR.
Been all Dalen Martin since he grabbed the lead early on in this one, and Weber seems to have gotten to that wall. He climbed, he's gaining a little bit, but it's not been as easy as it was to get through the other drivers.
Nobody just turned his fastest lap of the race, so I don't know if it's too little too late, Greg. He is a bit quicker, but only about half a tenth than Dalen Martin right now, and he's got a long way to go, and it'll be just 5 laps to do it this time at the stripe.
Open hand in the air from the starter. 5 to go at the stripe. Dalen Martin's in the 26, leads him down into 1. He's got 6 car lengths over the 9 of Cole Weber. There you see that battle for third. Paul Sr. in the 8SR has it. The 00 Trevor Thompson wants it. Thompson sits fourth. Right behind them, the 15 of Dave Evison in fifth. And again, the best battle on the Speedway coming to the closing laps.
4 laps left to go. Weber trying to cut into that, but still just under a second off the pace of Dalen Martin. And you got Senior, Thompson, Evison. They've broken away in the top 5. 3 laps left to settle it. Dalen Martin is like Delaware Speedway here in 2022.
Looking to pull off the sweep again. He was victorious back here in July. Looking to get it done here again tonight. Off turn 4, Dalen Martin. Twin sticks in the air for that 26 machine out of Brussels.
He's just got to hit his marks. He's been the fastest car on the track the last couple of laps out there. And it doesn't look like traffic is going to be a factor, Greg.
You know, Trevor Thompson right now is putting some pressure on Paul Sr. to get on the podium here with a white flag coming out, so we'll keep our eye on that battle for the 3rd spot. But it's Dalen Martin, Cole Weber, and then this battle for the 3rd position.
Down the back straightaway, the final time for Dalen Martin. Smooth and steady like he has all race long. Trevor Thompson drives it deep down into turn number 3, but he's not going to get it done. Dalen Martin going to take home the win. Cole Weber for 2nd. Paul Sr. going to hang on to 3rd after a great battle with Trevor Thompson and Dave Evison, who will round out the top 5.
Bill Zardom drives back up past Steve Ecker for the 6th spot. Back in 8th, Matt Hopkins. Rick Verburn in 9th, and Ronald Parsons back there completing the top 10 for the Quick Wick Firestarter OSCAAR Hot Rod Series. So Dalen Martin can get out the broom. He sweeps it here at Delaware Speedway, winning back on July the 2nd. And he'll drive down to victory lane and talk with our Clinton Jeffrey here in just a moment. OSCAAR Modifieds up next before we go. The championship race for the APC series.
1971 Mach 1 Ford Mustang.
A Dave Frank sticker going on the car already.
Well, guys, Dalen Martin working out some congratulations. Jake Sheridan, the latest in, to shake his hand and work on getting the helmet off and climb out of here to this gorgeous number 26 machine. And as Jamie mentioned, swept the summer here at Delaware. 2 great runs for this driver. And we'll get the bucket off. We'll get him out here so you guys can welcome him here to Delaware Speedway Victory Lane. And tell him you appreciate the drive he put on here tonight. You get the earbuds up out of the way and throw the Hans device off. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. To get the hat on and make his way out. How about it for your OSCAAR Hot Rod feature winner here tonight, Dalen Martin. Dalen, great drive here. You know, a lot of the NASCAR and APC teams in to congratulate you. That's got to make you feel good, but what's got to make you feel the best is grabbing that checkered flag for the 2nd time here at Delaware this summer.
Yeah, we had a good car here in July, and it just wasn't quite good enough, so I got Buddy Cade and Lapsovich behind me. We've spent a ton of hours on it and made this thing a rocket. I can't thank him enough, thank all my guys enough for the hours they put in and staying with it.
Great job. Dalen Martin gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for your OSCAAR Hot Rod feature winner? We get over here and talk to Weber and Paul Sr. Goal to drive for you tonight. Not bad. Can you be happy with that? 2nd place is a solid run. This is a tough division, and there's a lot of different cars out there, but you're up here on the front straight out at the end of the night. That's a success.
Yeah, starting back at 8th. Really, there's a lot of close cars here. I was surprised we got up this far. I feel like we were one adjustment out, or if we would have had a caution to restart with them, we maybe could have gave them a run, but I think the cars were evenly paired. I was watching the gap, and if I closed any, then he gained a bit. So I just got to thank Chuck Lawler, Dale Barton, all the guys that help on this car. We've had a blast. I'm just glad to be on the podium here. So thanks for everybody coming out in Delaware. It was a blast.
Right on, you got it. Let's talk to Paul Sr. Paul, solid drive for you. I mean, you've been in this division since pretty much the beginning. You've seen it grow. What a great deal it is here. These hot rods continue to put on great racing, and tonight you're in third place here on the podium. That's a great night for you.
I'll tell you, I can't believe what my guys did. We drove, this is an 11-hour round trip for us. The car wasn't very good. Josh, Jonah, Mikey, Terry, my son, and Barry got this thing right. Hats off to the 26 and my buddy Cole Weaver there. They're good racers. I did all I could do, and that's all we had.
Right on. Paul Sr., third tonight. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? He drove 5.5 hours each way to race for you people this weekend. That's a great deal. Cole Weaver, second, your winner. Dalen Martin here in the OSCAAR Hot Rods. We'll be back live from Delaware Speedway with the great Canadian 100 coming up here shortly. We'll be right back.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
I heard about a new product line at NTN called Kize. Can you tell me about it?
It's true, Kelly. Kize is NTN's new range of spherical roller bearings protected by steel shields fixed on the cage on both sides. It's an unprecedented solution, and it's exclusive to NTN.
Does NTN Kize outperform an open spherical roller bearing?
Absolutely. NTN's Kize's metal shields will keep out solid particles, dust, and other contaminants, while also keeping grease in. This results in a longer bearing life, reduced maintenance, and overall increased performance.
That's impressive. Will our users need to do anything different during the installation to accommodate the NTN Kize?
Not at all, Kelly. NTN's Kize spherical roller bearings are directly interchangeable with a standard open bearing. Same housing, same accessories, same installation procedure as they use now.
Wow, James. Look, a direct drop-in. What great news.
Yes, Kelly, it sure is. And with a minimum lifespan twice that of an open spherical roller bearing, NTN's Kize delivers the ultimate bearing experience.
Now let's get some of these out into the market, James.
OSCAAR Racing on GeForce TV tonight is brought to you by St. Mary's Home Building Center and these other great supporters. Back live at Delaware Speedway, ready to go for the Queenston Chevrolet OSCAAR Modifieds, Adam. And when they fired up the cars down in Victory Lane, we were listening to the Hot Rod interviews. You could tell the Modifieds were on their way.
Oh, absolutely. These cars are wicked. It'll be a great race, fun to watch. And we got some fast cars coming from deep in the field. Let's tell you how they'll line up on the pole from Arcona, the McFarland Rowlands Insurance. Wilds Printing, Lloyd's Paving. Number 39 is Brian Batty. Alongside him on the front row out of Guelph, the Paul Townsend Tools. Number 1 of Paul Townstead.
Starting in third out of London, the Sloan Stone Design, London Music Hall, number 22, Marshall Shrink. And right behind him, in that number 18 machine out of Oakville, the Oakville Auto and Diesel Machine Shop 18 of Jason Keene.
Starting on the inside of row number 3, from Shelburne, the Scott Reinhardt Trailers SGR Plumbing, number 51 is Dale Reinhardt. And alongside him from Guelph, the Just Foam at JT Excavating, number 34 of TJ Edwards.
Starting in 7th out of Churchill in the London Recreational Racing, Havelock Metal Roofing, number 35, Andy Camrath. And alongside him out of Kincardine, the Family Funland, number 11, Norman Newman.
Next in line out of Dorchester in that plain-looking number 3, it's Jamie Cox, and his outside from Fergus, the Midas of Orangeville, Grisdale Racing Products 46 of Steve Trendle.
On the inside row, number 6 out of Durham, the Roymar Demolition, number 7, Tommy Robb. Out of the outside of him, out of Owen Sound, the Fireplace and Patio Shop, number 69, Wally Wilson.
The Ontario Modular Solutions TM branding number 81 out of Barrie, it's Kent Rowbottom. And alongside him on the outside of that row is the number 90. From Kilworth, Canada Tube Form number 90 of Mark Hamacher.
And starting at the tail in this one from Toronto, the 88X, it's Scott Beattie. Queenston Chevrolet OSCAAR Modifieds ready to go. Green flag racing, 40 laps the distance in this one.
Last time they were here, it was a doubleheader weekend. Race number 1, J.R. Fitzpatrick on the Friday night. T.J. Edwards, the defending series champ, on Saturday night. Green getting set to fly. 39 of Batty will lead him down. Green in the air. We're off and running into one.
Side by side, wheel to wheel through 1 and 2, and it's going to be the 39 machine taking the lead. Brian Batty going to show the way down into 3 and 4.
Paul Townsend on that outside line with a 22 a shrink back there. Then Camrath and Keene side by side. And, all eyes, I think, are going to be on that 35, Jamie.
Yeah, he's quickly fires it up to the inside. Almost some contact between T.J. Edwards and Jamie Cox off turn 4, but Camrath getting it done here early, all the way up into the bronze medal position with 2 laps on the board.
It's like he's racing in a different division out there. Watch it. Schrank is better through the corner, and Camrath picks up basically a car length down the straightaway.
So it's Batty out in front with a good lead, but Camrath now will pull us along ahead of the 22 rather, and now set his sights on the leader, so we'll see if that gap will close quickly. And Jamie, this is where he was closing the gap in the heat, getting into corner 3, that straightaway speed, so good on the 35.
I think he just ran out of laps in the heat race. It was only a matter of time, and here he comes, Andy Camrath. Down into 1 and 2, he's getting close to within 3 car lengths of Batty. He'll eat up more of the distance down into turn 3.
He's half a second faster in that 35 than is the 39 of Brian Batty.
That's a lot of time.
It's a big difference. He backs the corner up. You got to run off of turn number 2. Batty gets off the turn pretty well there down into 3. Batty going to keep that lead, but Camrath closing right in on the back bumper.
I think Batty's strong enough off the corner that Camrath's doing. He might have to go to the outside. Now he's going to pile it into the inside. Batty's going to give him a lane. Batty will keep him pinched off turn 2, and Camrath can't deal with him.
Troubles for Jamie Cox as he rolls slow down in 1 and 2. Looks to get off the speedway. Something went awry. He came off of corner 4, and everyone had to take evasive action to get around him, and now he'll pull off on the backstretch. So we'll stay under the green flag as here comes the battle for the lead. Side by side in 3.
Camrath through the middle of the corner, stronger than Batty off 3 and 4. Now Batty hanging tough on the outside. They're wheel to wheel down into 1, still battling for the lead.
Yeah, Brian Batty is cornering better than 35 at Camrath, but watch Camrath drive away in a straight line.
Nothing handles better than horsepower. The 35 proving that right now. Yellow on the speedway.
Slow car on the back stretch. That is the 81 machine.
Tyler Liscombe behind the controls of that one.
Okay. We introduced him as Kent Rowbottom.
Yeah, there's been some confusion. It's Tyler Liscombe on one list. Scoring has it as Kent Rowbottom.
Mr. X from Parts Unknown.
From Parts Unknown.
Yeah. It's got to be frustrating if you're Brian Batty getting around the corners better, and there's just nothing you can do in a straight line except push your foot to the floor on the gas pedal and hope you've got enough, Clint.
Well, the 81 car, guys, no life under the hood, getting shoved back here into the pits, and will not fire. So it looks like he's just going to take it back to the stall, and it'll be all she wrote for the 81.
It's almost like when the 35 steps on that gas pedal, he might need some wheelie bars on the back. Like just some ridiculous horsepower. And again, it was a doubleheader here in July. They wrecked that car on the Friday night, ended up going all the way to Hampton to get Kelly Balson's modified and bring it back for the next day. And then Camrath was able to close out a 6th-place finish on day number 2 of that Canada Day weekend in that borrowed Kelly Balson machine. But they've got that 35 put back together, and it is fast. And, of course, the guy behind the wheel, he's picked up an APC win along the way at Flamborough.
Yeah, no slouch behind the wheel at Indy Camrath. He knows how to get around.
And I've said this for years. I would love to see Andy Camrath get the funding to go run APC for a whole season, because I think he would just bring that much more to the series itself. Great competitor, clean racer. And we'll see if he can get it done here in the final event of the undercard tonight.
How about we do a quick fire it up as we bring them back to the green. Tight battle there between TJ Edwards and Jason Keane. They continue to go wheel to wheel. Two very different looking OSCAAR modifieds, and now TJ Edwards will slip ahead of the 18.
I believe Jason Keane actually clipped the backstretch wall the first lap after that restart. The front end just kind of jumped a little bit on that car. He settles into the 5th spot on the back straightaway.
For the restart, he was doing all he could to push Brian Batty out to the lead. Unable to get it done. Camrath now has taken control of this. And he's already opened up about 6-7 car lengths over that 39 of Batty. Marshall Schrenk having a good run in the 22 machine, one of our local Friday night late model competitors. He brings a modified out to play a few times a year. Holding up the defending series champ TJ Edwards right now in that battle for third.
He's right there behind the 22s. They work down the back stretch. Gap back to Jason Keane, and then a 3-car battle behind that with Reinhardt, Newman, and the Trendle 46. 3 cars all going at it.
TJ Edwards still trying to find a way to get around that Schrenk number 22. Same story, Edwards is pretty quick in a straight line, but Schrenk doing a good job in the turns.
And again, Marshall Schrenk, a lot of laps around here, not necessarily in the modified, but cut his teeth basically here at Delaware Speedway. And able to use that home track advantage to keep TJ Edwards at bay, but now Edwards squeezes to the inside of Schrenk off turn 4. Going to be 24 laps to go here at the stripe. TJ Edwards still not able to get side by side with Schrenk.
Just behind that, Norman Newman was able to clear Reinhardt, and then he brought along Trendle in the 46. So those 2 cars breaking away, and I'll tell you what, Norman Newman, I think, has gained ground now on that 18 of Jason Keane.
That battle between Edwards and Schrenk still on down into turn 1. Edwards on the bottom, wiggled just a bit mid-corner. Schrenk tried to get the power to it on the outside. Now here comes Keane to join that fight as well.
Schrenk had thoughts of closing the door, but Jason Keane had the nose of that 18 machine there. He'll try again down in turn number 1. Schrenk up on the high side, Keane down low. Wheel to wheel, they battle off at turn 2.
Great job, Jason Keane, former Canadian vintage modified champion. Again, Schrenk, a regular weekly Friday night late model competitor here at Delaware Speedway. Great battle by those two. Keane will finally close the deal. Closing it out halfway of this 40-lap OSCAAR modified feature.
Brian Batty not going away. He's hovering around that 1 second gap behind Camrath right now, and Camrath not walking away like I thought he might.
Well, the question is the gap Batty's choice right now, or is it Camrath's choice? Again, Camrath in cruise control.
Halfway home.
TJ Edwards has been the fastest car on the track the last couple of laps in that 34 machine, back in third. But again, Andy Camrath out in front. Is he on cruise control, or how hard is he pushing that 35? Still a lot of race left to go.
So right now it's all Camrath. Then you've got Batty back there in the second spot. TJ Edwards, Jason Keane, Marshall Schrenk, your top five. Norman Newman was gaining ground on the top five, but is kind of stalled out right now in that sixth position. Trendle, good distance off of him in seventh, and it's Reinhardt, Townsend, and Beatty back there completing the top 10 now.
A little bit of traffic for Andy Camrath as he closes in to put a lap on the number 7 of Tommy Robb. Robb gets down to the inside of the racetrack, well out of the way of the race leader.
A couple events left for the OSCAAR Modifieds this year. Frosttoberfest at Flamborough, and then Autumn Colors at Peterborough. The point leader coming into tonight was Andy Camrath. Looks like he's going to even extend that gap with only a couple races left to go. TJ Edwards came in second in points tonight. AJM's third. AJ not even here this evening, so where that 14 is tonight.
Well, let's not write the check to Andy Camrath just yet. He is quick, he's out in front, but the cars behind him, lap after lap, just a hair quicker, but they've got a lot of ground to make up on the race leader. TJ Edwards again, a little bit quicker than anybody else ahead of him that lap.
Just lap traffic to deal with coming up. 90, Mark Hamacher. And of course, right in front of him, the finest mullet in Ontario Motorsports, Wally Wilson, in the 69 machine. You see Camrath working through 3 and 4 now. Coming up behind Hamacher. He'll make the move down the front stretch. Put a car between him and Batty.
Camrath down the backstretch he goes.
Jason Keane into the backstretch wall repeatedly.
Sparks out of that 18 when he climbed on the brakes into turn 3. And you can see the white dust on the right side tires of that 18.
Not the hot ticket, that's for sure. The last few laps, Andy Camrath getting a little bit quicker, Brian Batty getting a little bit slower.
Now they did square off in the restructure, or in the reconstruction. They squared off some of the front stretch walls, but that wall in the back stretch still Jersey barricade. It'll launch that car right up in the air.
Camrath works by Wally Wilson, gets him cleared. It cost him 0.2 of a second, but still 1.2 back to second place. Brian Batty. TJ Edwards not closing ground like he was there for a bit.
Whoa! Wow. That was a moment for TJ Edwards as he swings to the outside of Wally Wilson off of turn number 4, and that 34 machine got all kinds of loose. That'll allow Jason Keane in the 18 and Marshall Schrenk in the 22 to close in quickly on the 34 of Edwards. That's the battle coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, despite the 18 of Keane bouncing that car off the concrete a few times, maybe it made it quicker. He has all of a sudden started to put the heat on TJ Edwards. Him and Schrenk have reeled in your defending champ down into turn 3.
Leader, meanwhile, across the line. 6 laps left to go. Batty keeping pace right now, right around 1.6 seconds. He can see the leader, but not getting any closer.
TJ Edwards trying to hold off Jason Keane, and Keane has an aggressive Marshall Schrenk right behind him in that 22. Schrank draws right up on the back bumper of the 18 machine as they race off a 4 and down the front straightaway, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Don't look now, but Norman Newman in the 6th spot in that number 11. He's got 5 laps to do it, but he's closing in.
Watch that 18 car, whether he was in a vintage modified or this modified right here. One thing Jason Keane has never been short on is horsepower. You see that thing just getty up and go after he gets it straight out of the corner. If Schrank could get even to him, he'd have a shot, but that 18 is so fast in a straight line.
3 laps left to go for the leader.
He's trying him off turn 4. Schrank swings to the outside of Keane.
Coming up on Tommy Robin, that number 7, Edwards gets squirrely. What a move by Schrank. Norman Newman going to try to get through on the inside. Keane slams the door shut.
There's definitely some contact between the 11 and the 18 as Keane hung the hard left. Now Keane to the inside of Edwards. Norman Newman right there as well.
Marshall Schrank, the benefactor of all of that. He's pulled away from that mess and into the 3rd position. White flag out for leader Camrath.
TJ Edwards has leaked 2 spots, looking at a 3rd possible one. Coming to the white flag as Norman Newman just chewing on the inside. Into 3 and 4. Andy Camrath off turn 4 for the final time. He'll come to the stripe. Checker flag in the air. That London Recreational Racing Machine number 35 will go to victory lane.
Problem for Steve Trendle up in turn number 3. A shower of sparks. He's able to avoid the outside wall with the front end disagreeing on that race car. So Camrath first. Batty comes home second, and it's Marshall Schrank, Jason Keane, and Norman Newman rounding out the top 5.
So Andy Camrath will make his way down here to victory lane. And talk with our Clinton Jeffrey here in just a moment, along with Brian Batty and Marshall Schrank. What a rocket ship Andy Camrath has here. Such power off those corners, and the point leader pads that lead with 2 races left to go. Frosttoberfest and autumn colors. And there you see Andy Camrath getting the helmet off. He's down there in the office in Castrol Victory Lane. We'll send it down here as Clinton Jeffrey's ready to talk to Andy as he will climb out of that London Recreational Racing number 35.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Mike Schmidt in there from London Recreational Racing to give him some congratulations and welcome his driver to Delaware Speedway Victory Lane here. We'll get Andy out in just a moment, have a word with him like we've done in the past. As you mentioned, one of the most dominant drivers here in the OSCAAR Modifieds. And here he comes out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. How about a big Delaware Speedway Victory Lane welcome for your modified winner tonight, Andy Camrath. Another solid drive, Andy. You know, this Padgett point lead, as Greg mentioned, coming in with 2 races to go in the season. You just got to basically get out there and make it work a couple more times. Talk about how flawless this car's been for you this year and in the past.
Yeah, you know what? We've had this thing on rails for a long time, and it's not just me. I got a lot of guys behind me that help me. Sean Chenna with Bob, Mike Schmidt, Brandon, Chris on the radio, Warren. I've had Sam and Andrew here, my wife. Everybody that comes and helps me, I can't thank everybody enough. It's a lot of work that goes into this thing, and it's a lot of maintenance.
Congrats again.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Andy Camrath gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get over here and talk to Brian Batty. Brian, Andy's been a tough car to beat these last few years. When you come second to him, that's no small feat. I know you'd like to be 1 spot up on the charts, but still a great drive here today.
Yeah, thanks. Andy is definitely one bad fast driver. He's dominating here, but we're doing what we can to keep up with these fast cars. Wouldn't be without all our sponsors: Stone Pickers, Wilds Printing, McFarland Rollins, Derek Morton Blowers, Lloyd's Paving, Firehouse Hot Sauce, and Lambton Dippings. We wouldn't be able to come out here and have this fun.
Right on there, you have for second place, Brian Batty. Guys, we'll get over here and talk to Marshall Schrank. Marshall, great drive for you. Third place at the end. You managed to get through a quagmire of cars there at the end and pull away. Talk about that last few laps and how you managed to get up here on the podium.
I just had to push those guys out of the way a little bit. Car was fast and looked like the 34 was backing up a little bit. Spotter was calling pressure behind, so had to go.
Right on. Congratulations. Marshall Schrank, third. Brian Batty, second. And your winner, once again here, Andy Camrath. Guys, we'll send it up to you to finish off the OSCAAR Hot Rod and Modified portion of the show. We'll be right back live here on G-Force TV with the APC 100 lapper coming right up.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
I heard about a new product line at NTN called Kize. Can you tell me about it?
It's true, Kelly. Kize is NTN's new range of spherical roller bearings protected by steel shields fixed on the cage on both sides. It's an unprecedented solution, and it's exclusive to NTN.
Does NTN Kize outperform an open spherical roller bearing?
Absolutely. NTN's Kize's metal shields will keep out solid particles, dust, and other contaminants, while also keeping grease in. This results in a longer bearing life, reduced maintenance, and overall increased performance.
That's impressive. Will our users need to do anything different during the installation to accommodate the NTN Kize?
Not at all, Kelly. NTN's Kize's spherical roller bearings are directly interchangeable with a standard open bearing. Same housing, same accessories, same installation procedure as they use now.
Wow, James. Look, a direct drop-in. What great news.
Yes, Kelly, it sure is. And with a minimum lifespan twice that of an open spherical roller bearing, NTN's Kize delivers the ultimate bearing experience.
Now let's get some of these out into the market, James.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy, crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
We're back live on G-Force TV for the second night of the Great Canadian Weekend here at Delaware Speedway, just outside of London, Ontario. I'm Greg Kellnan. With me, Adam Ross, Jamie Maudsley, and down trackside our Clinton Jeffrey, as we are ready for the final race of the night. Adam, it's the biggest one of the year for the APC Series. A champion will be crowned.
The Castrol Great Canadian 100. Going to be contested. We will bring these cars out onto the front straightaway and stage them right after we clear things out. You can see Sean Gibbs waiting down there in turn number 1 right behind the pace car. So there's been some cool things going on this weekend, Greg, one of which is the Man Cave Auction.
Yeah, we've got 3 doors down there that are going up for silent auction. Brandon Watson. I'm not sure if that's a Kyle Steckley or a Pete Shepard door. There's the Brandon Watson one and a Matt Pritico one. Jamie Maudsley might know a little bit more on that. Were you down there?
You got a Steckley door, you got a Matt.
Oh, hang on.
Let's unmute you. There we go.
You got a Kyle Steckley door, you got a Matt Pritico door, and you got a Brandon Watson door. 2 of them over $100 tonight so far.
How careful do you have to drive to not tip over those bottles of Coke?
Seriously, right? They're glued down. That's a good idea.
Tab.
As long as you don't get thirsty, it's a great idea. Wow.
So that is the man cave right behind the tower here.
Even some vintage Linda Vaughn in there. Did you see that?
A little hurt shifter.
She came to Motorama one year, did she?
Yep.
Not? Yeah.
And so we've started a kind of new tradition here at Delaware Speedway where when we announce drivers for the APC races, we bring them down the stairs. So there's a bunch of guys out back in the tower getting ready to be introduced. Well, it's turned into an impromptu autograph session.
Okay.
They are surrounded by kids down there. Absolutely awesome.
Race car drivers have always been an approachable role model for young people. Get to go down there and meet the people you cheer for week in and week out. We see some cars moving out there.
Some of these drivers sat down and did some rapid fires at the start of the year, and I think Spencer said he's got a couple of queued up. When will Tom Brady retire?
Brett Favre's didn't work out so well,
No.
did it?
$50. I don't think he ever will retire. Isn't he retired now? He's back? Oh, I don't. How old is he now? I'm going to guess 47. 58. 97 and a half. 68. Too old.
Turns out the correct answer to that question was as soon as his wife makes him.
Not yet. But, and in fairness, back then, when you guys shot these, that was kind of around the time when he retired, came back. I just feel bad for that guy that bought the last game ball.
Right? I could watch Cole Powell interviews for days and days. Like, he is so dry. But funny dude. There was more. We also talked to them about what was their worst crash. A lot of these drivers have been around for a long time, so that was one of the other questions we asked on Media Day. Talk to us about your worst crash.
2012 Flambeau Speedway, ended up in the pits. Worst crash ever, I got turned on the last lap, fighting for the lead at Sawable, and I climbed the wall, took down 12 fence posts, rode the whole wall into turn 3 and 4, and took the whole right side off the car.
Let's go last year at Pinty's race. That one hurt for 2 weeks afterwards. First year mini stocks, full speed at Kawartha Speedway in a Honda Civic.
2018 in the NASCAR 50 car at Ducasa.
ARCA race 2009 at Daytona.
Lost brakes at Flamborough on a test day one time. Yeah, that wasn't any fun. Bristol in a Tour Modified in practice. I blew a right front and hit the actual fence.
It's almost unfair to ask those guys that question and compare it to J.R. Fitzpatrick, who's, most of these guys have only gone 100, 150 miles an hour. He's done the 200 miles an hour, and you got to imagine that hurts even worse.
It's not about how fast you go, Jamie.
It's how fast you stop.
How fast you stop. Things are moving now. I wonder who drives J.R. Fitzpatrick's car down to the line. Who else can reach the pedals? Ted's a fairly tall
He's got a bunch to stretch there. He's got a few tall guys. Chris McComb might be able to make it work. You never know. I didn't see if Senior's here. Did he make it, or is he still out east?
I don't know. I had a feeling he was out east because I would assume that's where JR was getting the updates. I haven't heard anything from Tim Terry tonight, our friend down in the Maritimes. I'd love to hear a note from him just to check in and say he's A-okay. But we have not just yet. And same thing, the reports from Fitzpatrick's place in Newfoundland was 150 kilometer an hour winds. I can only imagine what the surf looked like. A lot of damage down through Nova Scotia, so we hope everyone's doing okay.
Hope all the racetrack infrastructure's okay.
Okay, and I just got a note that John Fitzpatrick is here in VIP.
That's how he rolls.
Always good to have John at the racetrack.
Still one more race this weekend. Tomorrow night, the NASCAR Pinty Series will crown their 2022 champion. The Pinty's Fall Brawl, plus the King of the Hill, Jamie.
King of the Hill Nationals.
Nationals. I saw that. I'm like, okay, this is like a whole nother level.
Yeah, you put Nationals in, it's got to be
Exactly.
another level, right?
That's big. That's big.
So to bring you up to speed, okay, this is a great story with the King of the Hill. So 2 King of the Hills ago, by the end of July, I made the challenge. I pulled $5 out of my pocket. I fell off my wallet, pulled $5 out of my pocket and said, I got $5 if I can get 2 minivans down there to race. Okay? Russ Erlin came over from scoring, gave me a toonie. So now we're up to $7. Okay? One of the spotters from one of the super stock teams hands me another $5, and somebody drops $20 off to Ken Chaplin. So we've got these minivans racing for like $1 million, $32, okay? Close. Best ever. So it's a Mazda minivan and a Black Town & Country. They pull around to the start-finish line. The Mazda grids up. The Black Town & Country stops about 100 feet short of the line. All of a sudden, the slider door opens. The back door opens. Guy gets out of the minivan, takes the wagon out of the side door, puts it in the trunk. Closes the trunk, gets back in the minivan. Side door's still open. You want to talk about drama. As he pulls to the line, here comes the side door closed. Gets gridded up, absolutely whacks the Madison. So we find out later it's Gary Adrianson's brother-in-law, I believe. This guy offers a bounty for the August King of the Hill. If you can beat him, I forget it was $50 or $100. He had money for you. All you had to do was beat him in King of the Hill. That offer still stands. So if you've got a smoking minivan, if you've got, the top-notch Town and Country, if you're rolling in the hot Honda Odyssey, if you've got the Velocity Vienna, you bring it on down tomorrow. I'm sure Ray Everland's going to be here tomorrow with that Black Town and Country that has become almost a legend here at Delaware Speedway. And it was all like I'm only convinced he won that because of proper wagon placement.
So if you're rolling an MV, you're ready to go. That's where our whole conversation, Adam, started with us getting a van. As I sent you that picture, someone had a minivan painted up like the Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am, but it said
the
Bandit.
Yeah. I sent Russ Erlin the picture that I saw online. I said, I don't know what we got to do, but we got to get this guy here to race against the Town and Country.
Now, does it count if it's a full-size van?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it to you.
All right.
Yeah.
Clinton and Spencer will never stand for it. They have standards. I don't know what that's all about.
When did those start?
It's ridiculous. It was good enough for the A team. It's good enough for us.
Well, that's where we moved. We were going to paint this van black with the red stripe. We'll be the G team, right? So then we started naming out who's going to be who, and that got off the rails.
I actually saw one of those replicas at the 24 Hours of Daytona. These guys were camping with their A-team van. It was awesome.
But does Clint not face? Hands
down, yeah.
And Murdoch is obviously at him. So that left Spencer and I between B.A. Baracus and George Papard's Hannibal. Well, I'm the crusty old guy, so I guess I'm Hannibal.
Who loves it the most when a plan comes together, right?
That's Spencer.
So all winter long, it doesn't matter to me what we do for next year. Next year's going to be a lot of fun, but we better have a video montage that looks like the A-Team opening. Needs to happen.
If we can't have a telestrator, we need that at least.
Still a sore spot. Too soon.
How do we get a video board before a telestrator? You'd think the budget for the telestrator was a little smaller than that video board, but
they knew that we couldn't put up a video board if you or I had control of a telestrator because the images wouldn't be suitable going up on the board in front of the fans.
You guys drawing stickmen too, don't you?
Did you see Adam's telesketcher that we have at Oshwegan on Friday nights?
A fan.
A fan gave him an Etch-a-Sketch.
That was the joke. If I can't get a telestrator, I at least want an Etch-a-Sketch, and I can draw what I'm feeling. The first thing I drew was a message dispenser that can't be repeated.
Those are frustrating. No circles, no corners. It's
no,
all
you know how hard
straight.
it is to draw a circle on one of those things. You have to have dexterity that I just have not yet developed.
It was challenging.
But it's the most focused I've ever seen Adam. He was sitting there writing this message dispenser, so intent on getting every letter out on this message.
So we're nearly there, folks. Just a few more cars to get staged, and then once we get the go-ahead.
And did we get an update on the 22 yet? If they got that ignition problem fixed. I guess we'll see when they fire that car down in turn 1 on pit road. He will join the field at the back, having not turned a qualifying lap. Oh, there he looks like it's running.
How about it, folks? Big round of applause for that crew from Milverton. For Kyle Steckley in that 22. He is going to start shotgun on the field.
There's Glenn Stiers from the campground behind turn 2.
Last few cars getting staged, drivers getting ready back here behind the grandstands. Clinton Jeffrey, I hear your mic is keyed up.
Yeah, I got Kyle Steckley here. Kyle, we saw you have some trouble here in qualifying. Car couldn't get fired. First off, you're a contender here tonight. Is your car ready to go?
Yeah, the crew worked real hard, and we got a couple parts from J.R. Fitzpatrick, so thanks to him. And we got it all fixed up, and hopefully it can run the 100 laps, and we're going to make a charge to the front.
Right on. We'll watch for you, Kyle. You know, it's been a good season for you. You've got some first going. It's been a good year for you here at Delaware. What's your plan tonight?
Yeah, well, going to try and be patient as I can, but I got to make up a lot of ground. So I think we have a good APC Auto Parts, AW Millwrights, Quick Wick 22. So hopefully we can make it to the front, it stays clean, and be there at the end.
All right, thanks, Kyle. We'll keep walking. I got Glenn Stiers right here. We'll just do a walk and talk because we got them all. Well, big guy, how's it going? This is new for you, Glenn. Obviously trying to get up to speed here on the pavement. You got figured out on the dirt, but a whole new animal here. 3 shots at it this weekend. Are you having fun, boss?
Absolutely. I mean, yesterday when we were running, we were actually passing cars on the inside and on the outside. Guys are asking me how the car is today. Again, I'm not going to know until we're rocking and rolling. So if it moves forward, it's going to be fun. If I'm getting passed and lapped, it's not going to be fun.
How about the work your crew did for you last night during that red flag for Tate O'Leary? They rebuilt the whole engine compartment, put a new rad in the car. Great job by your crew.
Absolutely incredible. I went to the few of the crew members. We got tape, we got zip ties, we got a bunch of other pieces of equipment, and threw it together, and it looked like a brand new car after.
Right on. We'll watch for Glenn Stiers going to the APC. I got Trayton Lapsevich here too. Trayton, welcome back to the APC series. How's it going, man? You having fun? Just having fun tonight, right?
Yeah, we're pretty good. Car's good. Struggled with it a little bit in qualifying, but I think it set us up good for the race, and should be all right for 100 laps.
Help us sell some tickets tomorrow. Why should the fans come out to watch tomorrow's NASCAR Pinty Series race?
I mean, it's going to be a good race tomorrow. A lot of home track drivers coming out from Delaware here. A lot of good drivers, a lot of competitive drivers, so it's going to be quite the race, and there's going to be excitement for all 250 laps.
Right on. There's Trayton Lapsevich. He's going to be doing double duty tonight and tomorrow. We'll turn it back to Greg for a moment here as we finish our walk and talk up here behind the tower, just getting ready for driver introductions.
Well, the the good thing for Kyle Steckley tonight, half-mile track. This isn't a tight bull ring where the leaders catch the back of the field really quick. So he does have a little bit of time. It's not as important to force the issue really early. He can methodically work his way towards the front.
Well, if you recall, I believe it was the tail end of 2020. We had so many yellows, it turned into a fuel mileage race. So, I mean, anything can happen. What Kyle Steckley's going to need is a lot of yellows and timely yellows to pick his way through the field. Get by 4 or 5 cars, get a yellow, get caught up, get 4 or 5 cars, get another yellow. We'll see if he can use those yellow flags to his advantage. But he's got a lot of laps here this year. He's got a fast car at Delaware. He's been quick all year and again finished third in the championship standings here at Delaware Speedway in 2022.
All right, race fans, it is time to meet the starting lineup for tonight's Castrol Great Canadian 100. Starting 29th from Milverton, the Quick Fire Starter AW Millwright Stewart's Equipment number 22, Kyle Steckley.
Starting in 28th out of Dundas. In the SDR seating, Stage It With Style, Nick's Journey Chevrolet number 74, Eric Della Riva. Rolling off 27th out of Ohsweken. In the GSR Ohsweken Speedway, car number 0, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers.
Starting 26th from West Lorne, the Simon Motorsports Chevrolet number 45, Barry Watson. And starting 25th from Fraserville, the Custom Forming Walls, Bondsma Brother Concrete Pumping Chevrolet number 79, James Horner.
Starting in 24th out of Carlisle, in the Transport Trailer Sales Glider Tarp System, Specialized Recycling number 27, Matt Box. Rolling off 23rd out of Guelph in the Spira Fire Protection High Grade Steel Roofing Systems number 86, Billy Schwarzenberg.
Starting 22nd from Windsor, the Jar Excavating A-Rock Aggregate Chevrolet number 03, Ray Morneau Jr. Starting 21st from Southampton, the Graham Family Auto Car Quest Gingrich Service Center, Tom Gibbons Concrete Finishing Chevrolet number 10, Tom Gibbons.
Starting in 20th position out of London, in the London Drive Systems number 77 Ford, Darrell Lake. Rolling off 19th out of Cambridge, in the Vincent Lawn Equipment number 97, Blair Wickett.
Starting 18th from Plattsville, the London Recreational Racing Mannheim Apex Oil Caldecott Millwright Services number 89C, Sean Chenoweth. Starting 17th from Norwood, the SMG Motorsports GTA Racing Designs Flathead Designs number 29, Ryan Kimball.
Starting in position number 16, out of Oro, in the Paragon Auto Trim of Barrie number 10S, Gord Shepard. And starting in 15th, out of Southwold, in the Dad's Discount Auto Supply, car number 10K, the big game hunter, Jesse Kennedy.
Starting 14th from Guelph, the NTN Bearings Wellington Systems number 83, Dale Shaw. To his inside from London, the Rico Foods Cash and Carry Crown Rust Controlled number 8, Patrick Friel.
Starting in 12th, out of Stainer, driving the Simon Motorsports car number 9, Brandon Watson. And rolling off in 11th, out of St. Thomas, in the Castrol Edge car number 28, DJ Kennington.
Now, race fans, your top 10. Starting 10th from London, the Burwell Auto Body Glencoe Auto Recyclers number 19, Connor Critico. Starting 9th from Grimsby, the Tricorp Construction number 32, Drayton Lopsevich.
Starting in 8th, the current point leader for the APC series out of Cambridge, driving the Cambridge Rigging Transaxle H2O Mobile Wash car number 84, J.R. Fitzpatrick. And alongside, in the 7th starting position, out of Oro Medante, in the Caldecott Millwright Services car number 31W, Rick Spencer Walt.
Starting 6th from Chesley, the Ridgeline Canadian Flat Roof Systems APC Bruce Service number 17, Josh Stoddy. Starting 5th from Sauble Beach, the Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park CUSW Canadian Union of Skilled Workers Stewards Equipment number 81, Andrew Gressel.
Starting in fourth, out of Orono, in the Mobile One B&W Enterprises Chevrolet number 54, Danny Benedict. Starting in third, out of Dorchester, in the APC Auto Parts Center's Canusa Automotive Warehousing Miami Muscle Car number 3, Shea Gimmel.
Now, race fans, let's meet your front row. On the outside of row number 1 from Mount Bridges, the Pride Seeds Vibrant Farms number 52, Jake Sheridan.
Well, Jake, big day here tonight. You know, big race here, big weekend for you. You got your NASCAR shot again tomorrow. Talk about what it means to go out and run good tonight and possibly get one tonight and tomorrow.
Absolutely. It always means a lot. Hopefully run good in our family team here. So the 52 late models dialed in pretty good, I think. Got a crappy set of tires there in practice, and we recovered pretty well. So everything's looking pretty good here on the front row. I'm really looking forward to it. So as long as we can keep our ducks in a row here, and I think we'll see a couple of cautions tonight, so have a good short run car and just get through tonight, and then have a good night and look forward to tomorrow.
Right on. He's starting second, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for Jake the Snake Sheridan?
Race fans, your pole sitter from London, the Global Warranty number 21, Matt Pritico.
Well, Matt, you're rolling out first here tonight. Let's talk about that. First off, you know your way around Delaware. Been here a lot. Former champion in this series. Can you put it on the podium tonight?
Yeah, I think so. We have a real fast 21 global warranty for tonight. Fast all day, fast all season. Just didn't have a lot of luck on our side. But we're bringing it at home tonight, hopefully.
Right on. How about it for Matt Pritico, ladies and gentlemen? He'll be your pole sitter. How about a hand for all the APC pilots getting ready to go here tonight? We'll send it up to the guys in the booth to get us ready.
Well, all that's left to do now is settle a championship.
That's it.
That's it. That's simple. And it's all on J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's got the spot that everyone else wants, but we heard him pre-race. He's got to protect that lead, and he doesn't like points racing. When you're someone as hungry as J.R. Fitzpatrick is for checkered flags, it's a tough spot to be in.
The one thing you've got to do if you're J.R. Fitzpatrick is stay in your lane, meaning you can't get too defensive. It's just not what he does. It's not what he's wired for. Stay aggressive. Do the things he does week in and week out. But there's so many other storylines. There are a bunch of drivers who really don't care. They're not in it for the championship. They want to end their season on a high note, and that means they want to visit Victory Lane in the biggest race of the year for this series, fellas.
I can't think of a bigger pro late model race in the country than this one. The best of the best are here, and then you've got some outliers who don't count them out, whether it be the 19 of Connor Pritico. You got the 10 of Jesse Kennedy. He's a multi-time winner of this. Of course, Brandon Watson making his return to the series here tonight. He's proved that piece is fast. DJ Kennington in the 28, no slouch, obviously getting those last-minute preparations in for tomorrow. But he came here to win tonight. So you got a lot of guys that, like you said, just don't care that JR is racing for a championship here tonight.
Looks like things are just about set down there on the front straightaway. Clinton Jeffrey, what's our timeline looking like down there, my friend?
Well, we're just waiting on the go-ahead. We've got Katie Topham here who's going to sing the anthem in just a moment. We're getting the drivers ready to roll, and we'll be ready to go here in just a minute, Adam. We'll let you know as soon as we're ready.
Some photos being staged, and I just heard the word from behind me from Trevor Hambley, race director. So we'll make sure that Alex agrees, Clinton.
Well, this time, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you all to please rise, remove your caps if you're able, and let's get ready to honor this great nation. We'd like to welcome our good friend, Katie Topham, here to sing the Canadian National Anthem at the Great Canadian Weekend. Katie, welcome.
Thank you. Oh, Canada,
love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Excellent job, Katie Topham, ladies and gentlemen. We're just a few moments away from dropping the green flag. Adam, Greg, Jamie, it's been a great season here on the APC Tour and can't wait to get this one in the books.
Neither can we, Clinton. Let's take a quick break on G-Force TV, and when we come back, it'll be time for the most famous words in motorsports.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickwick.com.
Back live at Delaware Speedway on G-Force TV, ready for the command to start the cars. Let's send it down trackside to Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, I think we're still in a holding pattern here. We're waiting for Gibber to give me the thumbs up. We have to take a moment or two to get these drivers in their cars and strapped in properly. Trenton Fitz down here is going to give us the command from Castro, which is awesome. You guys having a good time tonight?
Yeah.
Are you ready to do it?
Yeah.
Not yet, though. Not yet, though. In a couple minutes, we'll let you know when we're ready. Oh, Sean says we are ready. All right. You ready? Give it to us loud and proud. Are you race fans ready? What do you think? Is that good enough? Are you ready? All right, it's all yours, Trenton.
Drivers, start your engines.
All right, good job. We're ready to go.
My favorite sound in motorsports, Adam.
29 cars lined up on the front straightaway come to life, beautifully prepared, shining under the lights here at Delaware Speedway.
Well, Adam, we have 4 drivers to watch here as part of our Fast Eddie ones to watch. You got J.R. Fitzpatrick, obviously points, titleist coming in. Kyle Steckley with a shot. Then we've got Shea Gamble out there and Rick Spencer-Walt, last night's winner. Those are your 4 to watch. Fitzpatrick, Steckley, Gamble, and Spencer-Walt tonight. 4 drivers to keep your eyes on. That's our Fast Eddie ones to watch this evening, guys.
And I'll tell you what, you're going to have to be a little bit cross-eyed to watch Kyle Steckley. He's going to be starting at the other end of the field, so to keep your eyes on those 4 drivers, there's going to be a lot to behold here in the next 100 laps.
It's going to be important for Kyle Steckley's spotter, crew chief, to keep him calm in the car. Don't take too much at once. Because if you overdrive the car, if you work these tires harder than they want to be worked early in the race, you ruin yourself for later on. So he's got to pace himself, but at the same time, he's got to make the most of these starts and restarts, pick them off where he can, then get into a comfortable pace. But we look at the times from qualifying and the times from practice earlier on. There's not a huge difference between the fastest cars and the slowest cars on the racetrack. That's going to make things very challenging.
One guy we haven't talked a whole lot about was Brandon Watson in that 9, making his return. He's the all-time series leader. He's a 2-time champion. He'll be rolling from 12th here. And the one thing, if you've never had a chance to watch that 9-car race, throughout the 100 laps tonight, he'll probably not put himself in a bad position. My guess is he'll be a factor before the end of this one.
Another guy we haven't talked, I don't think, at all about tonight, other than during like time trials or driver introductions, Andrew Gresslin, how good he's been here over the years and some big wins here at Delaware Speedway. He's got a good starting spot. Don't be surprised if he ends up in victory lane.
A 3-time Great Canadian champion and former track champion here at Delaware Speedway.
How many of these races has DJ Kennington won?
I don't know if he's ever got himself a Great Canadian.
Really?
Yeah.
All the more reason.
Well, I guess he would have one last year for sure. He did win on the Friday night of the Pinty's doubleheader last year, but not in a late model for sure.
That Castrol Edge number 28. Long distance races here at Delaware Speedway. He's as good as anybody who has ever strapped themselves into a race car here.
Good looking scheme on that 28 as well.
Race fans, this is short notice, but do us a favor. Grab out your cell phones. Turn on that flashlight. If you can't, grab your hat, grab your program, grab whatever's nearby. Give these drivers a wave. They will be waving back. If you point your flashlight and wave those towards the track, the drivers can see it. They think that's a pretty cool salute to them. They're going to be waving back at you.
Even some of the crews getting into it. See some cell phones lighting up from pit road there. Or maybe they're telling their crew where their pit stall location is. It's a win-win.
It was something else. It's something that's been tried here and there, but the coolest thing is when the drivers say, yeah, we see it, and it looks neat from where we're at. What a crowd gathered here at Delaware Speedway. Glad to have you out at the racetrack. If you're watching the stream, make sure you put this into your calendar for 2023. It's an event you don't want to miss.
And a big shout out again to all the ownership crew here at the Speedway. New ownership went into effect this year, and it has really brought the Speedway to life. They spent a lot of money on the infrastructure. Obviously, you see the new asphalt around the place, and Delaware showed up. You know, the owners made the challenge. Hey, we'll put some dough into this place. We want the fans to show up, and they have shown up here this weekend.
You can't buy atmosphere. There's not a price tag on it. There's nothing you can do. It's either got it or it doesn't. But the energy the ownership group has put in, they get it all back.
Well, you got some guys on that ownership group. They've been on the other side of pit wall. They've owned race cars before, so they see it from all different angles. 1 to go sign in the air. We're going to get ready and turn them loose. The Castrol Great Canadian 100 on deck. A little over 3/4 of a lap.
Pace car ready to pull off in corner number 3. The field will bunch up and get ready to go. The Castrol Great Canadian 100 will come to the green flag off of corner 4.
And we're underway. Pritico out front. Sheridan alongside him. Gemmel's going to pile it into the corner on Pritico's bumper. It'll be Jake the Snake squirting out front off turn 2.
With authority, Jake Sheridan down the back straightaway. About 4 car lengths the advantage. Oh, contact between Gemmel and Matt Pritico in 3 and 4. They're almost 3 wide. Andrew Gressel thinks better of it.
Down through corner 1 they go again, and it's all stacked up behind the leader. Looked like Gressel was going to go 3 wide there for a moment. He'll roll out of the throttle and tuck back in line, battling side by side.
Shea Gamble absolutely sideways last time down into turn 1, hard on the brakes. The rear end of that car stepping out as he does battle with Matt Pritico. Jake Sheridan's got a couple wins here on Friday nights this year. He's showing how much he likes this new surface, opening up 12 car lengths real quick over that battle for second.
Sparks flying out from underneath some of these cars. Maybe a problem with Gord Shepard's 10S. He was way up out of the groove in 3 and 4. Let's see if he runs the line in 1 and 2. He's back on the racing surface in 1 and 2, but he lost a handful of spots.
Car off the pace on the backstretch. Barry Watson slows here in his first APC start. And also watching Kyle Steckley. He's already got about 8 of them at the back of the pack. He is picking them up and laying them down in that 22.
It's all Jake Sheridan right now, but there's still 2 by 2 behind him. The next couple of rows back. Shea Gemmel on the inside as they roll it off for corner number 4. Pritico to the outside. And then you've got that battle with Gressel and Benedict. Gressel now will jump ahead of him down in corner 1.
The only driver in this field really settled in and not having to worry about anything is Jake Sheridan out in front. Every other position on the track is being contested at the moment.
A big thing we've seen with Jake Sheridan over the years, though, he's got that first win last year at Sabo, but he has been guilty a lot of times of using up his stuff early, so we'll see if he packs it into cruise control here and tries to save those tires for later on in the race.
5 laps go up on the scoreboard, this time by Gemmel. Now has separated himself from Pritico, who's back there in third. He's got Gressel riding along, then Benedict, and then we see the point leader riding just outside of the top 5, J.R. Fitzpatrick in 6th.
Further back, Kyle Steckley still picking up ground. He went around Darrell Lake in that 77, now working on Ryan Kimball in the 29. He'll stick his nose to the inside of Kimball off of turn number 4, not able to make that move stick. A little further up, we've got Trayton Lapsevich and Rick Spencer-Walt racing side by side for position. Everyone ahead of them has sorted themselves out single file for the time being.
These two have been going at it. Spencer-Walt and Lapsevich. They will get single file. Patrick Friel in that group as well. There you see Kyle Steckley. He's got by Darrell Lake in the 77. Also got by the 29 of flying Ryan Kimball. The 22 is slowly picking his way to the front.
Jake Sheridan out in front. Gemmel closing the gap, strengthening his advantage over Matt Pritico. J.R. Fitzpatrick right in a comfortable spot right now there, riding in that 6th position. We've got some racing a little bit deeper on the pack as we see Sean Chenoweth back there door to door. It's Kyle Steckley who's working his way through the field.
Steckley just picked off Sean Chenoweth in that 89C. Now he's going to do work on Ray Morneau in the 03. Again, those were 2 championship competitors here in weekly action on Friday nights. The other trio that was in that championship race, he's getting a lesson from Brandon Watson right now as him and Watson go to work on the 17 of Stoddy.
Shea Gemmel continuing to close in on Jake Sheridan for the lead. About a 1/10 of a second quicker right now is Shea Gemmel. Lap after lap, Matt Pritico has settled into that 3rd spot after starting on the pole. Then you've got Gressel in the 81, Danny Benedict in the 54, and the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick nose to tail. With Brandon Watson still trying to make that move on Josh Stoddy in the 17.
He's been working Stoddy over for the last few laps in that 9 machine. The Simon's Innovation entry. Got about half a car length now over Stoddy down in 3 and 4. Connor Pritico in that battle as well. That's all going on right in front of Rick Spencer-Walt and the 32 of Trayton Lapsevich. You see Connor Pritico keeps that 17 shuffled up in the high groove. And Connor Pritico have an impressive run in that 19.
Strong all day long in that number 19 machine as Connor Pritico as he'll tuck himself in front of Josh Stoddy now.
Black flag being displayed to the number 9 of Brandon Watson. We'll have to get a report on what that was for.
So apparently the window net has fallen down in the 9 car. What a bad break.
He comes to rest right at the entrance of pit road. He has not lost a lap just yet. The crew going to work to get that window net secured. They get it secured. Now he has lost a lap.
Man, what a heartbreak. Such a simple item to have to come down pit road for, but an important item nonetheless.
Now, there is a lucky dog available to him, so he's not out of it yet, but he's got some work to do.
It was critical that he stayed just one lap down. Right now, no lap traffic. Glenn Stiers is the first car that Jake Sheridan will approach. He's about half a straightaway ahead of the number 52 right now. So Brandon Watson has some work to do, but he just has to go out there and keep turning his laps.
We saw that a few weeks ago in the Xfinity race. Brandon Jones, I believe it was, had to drive for 4 or 5 laps holding that window net up before finally the end of the stage he was able to come in and get it fixed. But if it had fell down, you got to make the pit stop.
Oh, and some smoke off the back of Brandon Watson's 9
lot-
machine.
lot-
Oh, that's a problem. He's putting out fluid. The leader's heading into it right now.
Watson's spun in
Glenn
his own
Stiers
fluid.
half spin. Trevor Hambley, the race director, suggesting to Brandon Watson to come to a stop on the racetrack as he is spraying oil. But I can tell you one thing about racers. You don't stop on the track, you get back to your crew so that they can work on that 9 machine. And a savvy racer, the likes of Brandon Watson, who's been around as long as he has, knows that if he oils down half the racetrack, it gives the crew that much more time to work on things. Thank goodness that happened where it did. Because if it was right on the straightaway, we'd have had cars piled into that turn 1 wall.
Yeah, you can see that trail of oil down into the corner on the bottom.
You can see it right up to his pit stall. You can see it coming out all the way as he pulled into the pit area. So they're going to have to...
It has to have been an oil line because the car was still under power as he drove it around.
Well, guys, down here the crew trying and searching, looking for where the oil comes out, and a huge puddle here leaking out under the driver's door, and a big pool of oil. So yeah, they must have popped the oil pan or something, guys, because all the oil pulling out of this one, it's either a pan or something catastrophic.
Are there any rumble strips between getting up to speed in 1 and 2 to getting back onto the racetrack? As we look at Brandon Watson, the smoke as he goes into turn number 1, Gord Shepard going around. Brandon Watson goes around in turn 2 in his own fluid. And this is going to be a tough one to clean up. It's going to take a little bit of time.
A couple other teams taking advantage of this yellow flag. You see Billy Schwartzenberg on pit road, James Horner on pit road, the 74 of Eric Della Riva on pit road as well.
There's Barry Watson heading down to have a look at things. They're looking at the right side of the engine compartment.
We'll try and get in here with David White in just a minute. Brandon Watson looking out across the car to see what the situation might be, and he sees a big puddle there, not what he needed to see tonight, and shakes his head in disgust. David White, what's the story here on the 9 car? What took him out?
Listen, a parts failure in the motor, lost some oil. I think we were able to save the motor though. So just want to thank Simon Innovations and those guys for putting. Yep, and the APC series doing a great job putting all this on. And unfortunately, we got a really fast car here today. The WMI guys working really, really hard and kind of bummed out. But hey, that's racing. We'll be back here tomorrow and try to put the Tricorp number 9 car in victory lane.
Thanks for your time, Dave. Dejected crew, guys, and there's a whole ton of oil out of that thing, and it's continuing to bleed there beside the car. We'll get down and check out some of these other stories as the red flag's still out, guys.
We can't confirm or deny this, but it's possible Dave White hasn't slept since March. That fella looks over the maintenance on so many race teams.
Adam, let's talk about what a break this is for a lot of these teams. We saw it yesterday where the long extended red flag let the Stiers car rebuild the rad and everything in the car. These teams on pit road, if they were already able to start working and they can continue to work, it's going to help them out here in this extended period.
Yeah, that's true, Clinton. If they have work that they need to do, otherwise they can kind of regroup as they all sit there on the backstretch. This is when the drivers are thankful it's a cool September night and not a steaming hot July evening, because you shut these cars off and they just get hotter and hotter on the inside.
It's like sitting in the inside of an easy bake oven.
Having a look at best lap times, the fastest lap I can see is Shea Gemmel in 18.182 on lap number 9. But everybody in here is in the low 18s. It's such a tightly bunched group.
Field rolling again here, and definitely some oil from 2 down the backstretch, but it is down low there as Brandon brought it in.
Look at the kid sitting on the hood of that truck down there in turn number 3. How cool would that be? Jamie, imagine being that age.
Best seat in the house.
It would just be phenomenal. You don't have to listen to the announcers. You can sit down there and just listen to race cars.
And you've got some chairs for him. Your new chairs.
You know, the only thing Clinton said to me, because he was down here for the concert, I was not. Hey, do you need anything? Yeah, if you can pick up some lawn chairs, please do. You've got to remember. So I stop at the store where I knew I could find lawn chairs.
And not Toys R Us.
$99 a piece.
Hold that thought, Jamie.
$60 a piece. Well, this is ridiculous. Finally, I see $20 for a lawn chair. They might be throwaways this weekend, but that's what I wanted to use. So I grabbed 4 of them. They were really easy to carry now that I think of it. and I take them to the checkout. I didn't notice until we got here and I actually pulled one out of the bag. But it's designed for a 5-year-old. It didn't stop me from sitting in it at the campfire.
Now, I believe you said you had to sit with your back to the trailer, though, just in case it collapsed, right?
Now, our buddy Rob Twitchett says, I'm not sure if you have an Employee of the Month at GeForce, but if so, I'd like to nominate this chair. It's clearly working much harder than it was ever designed to.
So if anyone wants a really good deal on 4 fold-up children's chairs.
How did you ever get that off? I can just picture you walking around the campground at 2:30 with a chair attached to your better side.
Now that you say that, it's not a bad idea. You'd have a seat wherever
Just goes
you go.
with you, yeah.
Yeah, that was a miscue.
I had one of those once. It was a brand new barbecue. We're on our way to a NASCAR race, and I didn't look very close at the barbecue. So we're on our way to Bristol, and had this brand new barbecue, and I grabbed those little green propane tanks. Except guess what? It didn't take the little green one. It took the 20-pound, white propane tank.
Oh, okay.
Now, luckily, we get camping beside these guys in Bristol, and they had forgot propane before. So their campsite's joke was, everybody brings a propane tank. So these guys are camped next door to us. There's 12 of them with 12 propane tanks there. They were able to hook us up for the weekend.
That's where I want to spend my time, getting restful sleep next to 12 propane tanks.
Safer than camping next to you sitting in that chair, I think.
That chair held up just fine. It was a comfy spot to sit. What a great experience it's been back in the campground. I mean, it is jammed back there of people having a good time.
I think that the chair had a weight limit on it, but to you it was challenge accepted.
I have broken my fair share of full-size chairs, but I'll tell you, I've never broken a kid's chair before, and it stands up to this day.
They're still tonight, buddy. They're still tonight.
If I break that chair, it's probably going to be over your back.
If Abby could fly the drone over there, he'd see that chair crying, knowing what's coming tonight.
It's lonely waiting for Adam to come back.
I just want action footage of when it actually collapses. That's
You're afraid it was going to impale him. Man, we don't want to go to the hospital tonight. Just get off that thing. But we didn't have enough chairs, so there we were sitting in it again today before the races. Well, we're down here on pit road watching the 86 car as they try and get Billy Schwarzenberg a little bit looser, guys. One of the teams working down here as we sit patiently waiting for the cleanup on the back straightaway. And wow, that's a cool effect off the screen. Like the disco here in the Schwarzenberg pit.
Because that's easy to focus on the job at hand.
Club Schwarzenberg on the front stretch.
Oh, it hasn't been a delay like this for a while, guys.
Hey, I'm pretty excited. Just got a message from Tim Terry. Now, the message was, could you not have combined 2 of those chairs to make one bigger chair? But the fact that we got a message from Tim Terry is fabulous. As you know, he is down in the Maritimes. Tim's Corner puts on about 100,000 kilometers a year going to and from car races. Fabulous announcer, fabulous ambassador for the sport.
And also knows the best places to eat in Nova Scotia.
Is there a bad place to eat in Nova Scotia? I don't think I've ever
Not if
found
you
one.
roll with Tim Terry, there's not. It's the Schwarzenberg crew working on the right rear of that 86 machine. One career win for Billy. Came at Flamborough a few years ago.
Well, we'll take a quick break here on G-Force. We'll be back as the cleanup continues here at Delaware Speedway.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
I heard about a new product line at NTN called Kize. Can you tell me about it?
It's true, Kelly. Kize is NTN's new range of spherical roller bearings protected by steel shields fixed on the cage on both sides. It's an unprecedented solution, and it's exclusive to NTN.
Does NTN Kize outperform an open spherical roller bearing?
Absolutely. NTN's Kize's metal shields will keep out solid particles, dust, and other contaminants while also keeping grease in. This results in a longer bearing life, reduced maintenance, and overall increased performance.
That's impressive. Will our users need to do anything different during the installation to accommodate the NTN Kize?
Not at all, Kelly. NTN's Kize's spherical roller bearings are directly interchangeable with a standard open bearing. Same housing, same accessories, same installation procedure as they use now.
Wow, James. Look, a direct drop-in. What great news.
Yes, Kelly, it sure is. And with a minimum lifespan twice that of an open spherical roller bearing, NTN's Kize delivers the ultimate bearing experience.
Now let's get some of these out into the market, James.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Back live at Delaware Speedway for the Drone Olympics as Abby just took it through the tech shed, and I think he came back a little bit light, guys.
He almost came back a couple propellers less. So he works off of turn number 2.
We've got to have a replay on this.
Did you have enough left side weight? That's what I want to know.
Now, the first pass was good and clean. The second one got a little close to a mighty white moment.
Yeah, that one was well executed.
Watch the door here on the exit. Oh.
Well, Daryl, they're flying through your tech shed. You approve of that?
Yeah, as long as they don't play with my toys and tools in there, we're all good.
We're going to send the drone over for post-race tech inspection.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
We're going to send the drone for post-race inspection.
Yeah, I'll be in there.
All right. Daryl Timmermans. Hopefully you had a good birthday, too. Daryl turned 50 yesterday if you weren't here with us.
And had a hot dog. The birthday dog.
Oh, hot dog tastes good right now.
Well, we had Daryl a bike here at the Speedway, and he's upgraded because somebody gave him the keys to a golf cart one weekend.
Oh, okay.
He figured that was way better than pedaling around on a bike.
I did see him on a bike, though, today. He was
Maybe
out on
now
pit
that,
lane.
now that he's 50, he's trying to get back in,
The doctor
back in
said.
better shape, right?
Doctor's orders. You're back to the bike.
So I could just. So what you're saying is I could just abuse myself from now until January, right?
You were going to anyway.
Turn my body into a dumpster for the next 5 months. But then when I turn 50, Daryl and I will clean it right out.
There you go. Got to say hi to the hookers. Kirk Hooker, Jake Hooker, watching and sending some messages. Tim Terry said his power went out down in Nova Scotia during the Superstock feature last night. It just came back in time for the APC race. So 24 hours without power, and I know he was out of snacks before last night even ended. So,
well, late model fans throughout the province will remember Kurt Hooker when he used to campaign in pro late model. Jake Hooker's been out a number of times, I believe 3 starts this year, and if I'm not mistaken, a 6th and a couple 5ths for young Jake Hooker. So we're hoping to see him out more. Hope all the Chatham fans are enjoying the broadcast. Kurt, always nice to see you, and hoping you and the boy come out and do some racing here again in 2023.
That's a family of diverse racing background. A lot of dirt, a lot of asphalt, and good on both.
Well, right. This is a lot. You remember when it was the Shouldice Designer Stone Series, and they used to give out the Stone Men. So the drivers all had these Stone Men, and they write their number on them, and they come to the fence and actually give them to a fan before the race. And if you're Stone Man 1, you could go down and meet the driver after. Jordan still got one of those Stone Men from when he was a little kid, and it came from Kurt Hooker that night down here on the front stretch.
Nice.
And this is something definitely haven't seen in Delaware until the repave this year. It was a slam dunk. If you were the pole sitter, if you were the control car, you took the bottom. But we see a lot of games this year. A lot of times guys have taken the top if their car's working out there. And as long as you can beat the guy to the center of 1 and 2, you can usually pinch him down and get him loose off of turn 2. So we'll see if that's the plan by Jake the Snake here on this restart.
Always good to hear from Wade Watson.
That's disturbing.
The Watsons enjoying the show from home.
I'm going to wake up tonight in full body shivers. I can't unsee that. Thanks, Wade.
I thought Adam in the chair topped it, but nope.
No, that was far more disturbing.
All right, next time by, we'll go back to the green flag with Jake Sheridan, Shea Gemmel.
Maybe it was just the lighting on the picture that did it. I don't know.
No, that was just all sorts of wrong.
It's not dim enough.
You didn't see it, did you?
Parts of it. That was enough.
Well, while we've got a moment, just got a message from Dave Elliott. Congratulations to Gary Elliott, who raced here a number of times on his induction this year into the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame. That's pretty cool. Let's go back to green with 81 laps to go.
And let's do it with a quick fire it up.
Battle here is taking on an aggressive turn. The 3 of Gemmel, the 81 of the Road Warrior Andrew Gressel. They were beating and banging on that restart off turn 2, and I don't think they're done. If you look down the right side of Gemmel's car, you'll see a huge donut right in front of that right rear wheel where they made contact.
And Andrew Gressel had the door closed. He had him cleared and then drove it deep into turn 3. Couldn't keep the car down. How much pressure will he put on J.R. Fitzpatrick wanting to get back down into line here with the 81?
Fitzpatrick riding there right behind the 81. Again, the point leader. Trying to cap off a championship here tonight, but at the same time, when you're up there, it's hard not to challenge to get towards the front as quick as you can.
11th in line now, Kyle Steckley. He's approaching the top 10, that 22. Quick APC AW Millwright's machine has sliced through the field like a knife through butter. Working on Connor Pritico, sits 10th off turn 2.
How about Brandon Watson one lap down, or did I miss that while I was looking at messages?
No, I think still one lap down. They've got it fixed.
Yeah, I looked up to see him on the racetrack and thinking, when did I miss that?
And he's already waded through a bunch of cars at the back. See that 9th place battle side by side in front of Steckley down into 3 and 4. Well, Gressel, Fitzpatrick, and Pritico, a bunch of former champs. Fill your screen off turn 4.
There's Jake Sheridan with Shea Gemmel giving chase off of corner 2 and down the back stretch. Fitzpatrick now looking to the inside of Gressel in corner number 3. Has the nose right there. Gressel comes out wide off of 4. Gressel's got the spot again at the line with 73 to go.
Fitzpatrick rolling the center of the turn real well, but obviously doesn't want to take any chances. He'll take what's there, but I don't think he'll make any bold moves to try to make up positions, and Andrew Gressel making his life just difficult enough, hanging on to that 3rd spot.
First 6 seasons of the series, 6 different champions before Brandon Watson became the first 2-time champion last year. J.R. Fitzpatrick looking to join him, working to the inside of Gressel off turn 4, the Cambridge/Air area driver. J.R. Fitzpatrick yellow on the Speedway. We've got one turnaround in 3 and 4. Blair Wickett in that 97 has come to rest. Smoke coming out of the right side of that car.
Well, the good news is he's driving away, so it's still got a drive shaft in it.
Could have used some help in the Zardo pits last night from the Wicked crew.
They have the experience. Let's have a look at this replay. I was looking at the wrong car. Show that again, Spencer.
Shepard was behind him.
So you'll have to look up towards the top of the screen here as they come down into the corner.
He'd already kind of started spinning from where we first get the look, but
and again, the same familiar faces on pit road. Schwarzenberg down there working on his car. Della Riva, looks like the 29 in there as well.
Yeah, Ryan Kimball's crew in here. They're jacking up the left side. Guy's going to make an adjustment on the right rear of this car as well. It's probably trying to get him a little bit looser as well as Ryan calls in for a drink. Schwarzenberg back here in the pits as well in the 86 car. And a couple of adjustments going on the right rear of him as well.
Brandon Watson gets back on the lead lap in that number 9, so you'll see him drop back to the tail of the field, getting the free pass.
It's actually shocking, Adam, when you've seen how much that car bled out oil. And you heard Dave White say he was pretty sure they were able to save the motor. He got back out there.
A veteran crew and a veteran driver, as soon as you hear a sign of things going wrong, you shut the engine down, you coast it down into the pits.
And how about Kyle Steckley again, has climbed from the back of the field all the way up to 11th.
We're going to send Abby to go collect his money. He's going to fly down and try and pick up that money. See if Spencer can pick it up. We'll see how this one works out.
Abby could have the most fun job of any of us, really.
So here he goes. There he is. All right, pay up.
Where's the money? Where's the money you owe me?
Drop the money. There we go.
You got to go put it in, Dave. Put it right in the slot, and Abby will fly it away.
There we go.
Abby collected his $40.
Your money is literally just flying away.
And the confusing part, so Abby stands beside us. The confusing part is every time I look over him, I expect him to be looking at the drone and where it is. And he's just got these goggles, though, just looking straight ahead. It messes me up every time.
He better come.
There he is.
Did you actually get paid? Oh, he got paid.
Coming off of turn 3 and 4, Shake Gemmel on the inside, Sheridan up on the high side. We come back to green, 72 laps to go.
Sheridan's so good on these restarts on that outside line. He'll pull away off of corner number 2. Gemmel on the inside. Here comes Fitzpatrick to his outside door.
Fitzpatrick on the outside of Gemmel. That's the race for second behind them. Pritico and Gressel going to war as well. 32 of Lapsevich. He's making moves on the outside. He's come from deep in the pack all the way into the top 5. Don't count out that 32.
Watching Blair Wickett on this restart, I swear he's further up than he was before he spun out. Oh, contact off of turn number 4.
Connor Pritico, I believe, got into the back of the 54 when they checked up.
Problem for Matt Pritico in the 21. Sparks off the back of that race car. He is in trouble on the backstretch.
They all file to the inside. Pritico's going to get all the way to the outside. And he's going to pull the lay and pray up in turn 4. We'll see if he does keep rolling or comes to a stop. He will come to a stop.
So the yellow flag comes out, and he just couldn't get across the racetrack.
Looks like a flat right front on the 21.
Yeah, the crew over here on the pit road screaming flat right front, guys. So they've gone for the new shoe on the 21. We saw the contact out there, and Matt Pritico going to try and slowly pace it around. But, man, what a shower of sparks out of that thing.
So we just saw the replay, Clinton. We're going to have another look. So, folks in the stands, direct your attention to the screen on pit road. Spencer, show that again. Pritico took advantage of Andrew Gressel sliding up the racetrack, then Gressel made contact with Lapsevich, and watch this. That was a great piece of driving by Andrew Gressel to keep control of that race car, because that could have been a huge pileup.
That car won't work too well without that spring.
Yeah, who lost that, Jamie?
Blair Wickett? Yeah, look at the right rear of Wickett's
car. It's hanging off the rear end of the Wickett. And Pritico with a cut through the pit area. And he will come down. We'll give you a good shot of that cut right front.
I know it's fall, but spring is just around the corner. Sorry, I had to. If you're going to sing Loose Wheel last night, Jamie, I had to.
That was well done.
So Matt Pritico, Global Warranty crew here going to work on the right front. As you know, new right sneaker going on there. They'll work on keeping the spacer and the brake cooling fans in place and work them out. Joe Lawrence in here dictating and barking orders at the crew as well as they try and figure it out. Now they pulled the tire back off and looks like they've got more problems than they knew about, guys. Yes, they've got broken suspension under there. One of the front trailing arms is hanging back.
See Ricky McCall in there.
This is something they're going to have to fix.
Is it the sway bar, Clinton? Because what will happen quite often when you drive around on the right front
there
flat,
it is, Adam.
You'll wear the bolt out of that sway bar, so chances are.
So that sway bar down there underneath is hanging out, and that is a problem, Adam, as you're right. They have grounded off. So crew going to work here trying to figure out what they can do to get this one back together for the Pritico 21.
See the scramble going on there. Feel bad for Rick McCall. He probably had to put down his Bud Light. Now he just kicks the car.
He is not happy about the...
No, when you kick the car, you're not happy at that point, yeah.
Well, they're fighting with the crew down here, their own crew. Just sent one crew guy over the wall, said, get out of here.
Paul Gignoli.
And now they're trying to fight down here on pit road.
Oh, I see. I believe that was Matt Pritico's dad. And I like Gressel and Lapsevich slid up. Matt just tried to take advantage of the situation, but unfortunately they tried to come off 3 wide and there wasn't enough room. It wasn't like it was anybody's fault.
No, you're right. That was a good call there. And Gressel just kind of in the middle. And when he got together with Lapsevich, just nowhere for him to go but down into Pritico and then riding around that extra lap.
Now, is that spring
There's
still
a
out there?
spring. Debris somewhere on the racetrack.
The pace car just paid.
This could. Everybody's gonna get back down. We still got that spring still on the racetrack. Good job by our camera crew of picking it up.
Corner 3.
Yeah, it was actually our director, Spencer, said, does race control realize there's a coil spring in turn number 3? We told Daryl, he got them to get the message, and they got that one sorted out.
It's a team effort.
So here, Adam, if you can see under the 6 car, or the 21 car over the camera 6, they're using a mechanical wire to wire this sway bar back in place.
Yeah, and I don't see why that can't work. But I'd also be curious why they can't get another bolt in there.
Well, I think it's like you said, they've ground it right off. So they're just trying to kind of put it up into place.
I don't think I've ever seen a sway bar be put back together with wire.
Listen, if Jeremy can do it, it can be done.
Yeah, I mean, if it survives a 70-lap torture test, more power to them.
They've got the right people down there. I believe that's Joe Lawrence in there. Jeremy's in there. Rick McCall was in there. Paul Ginoli Jr. I'd never know if I pronounce his name right.
Well, those guys are all way smarter than we are at race cars, so they obviously know what they're doing.
They haven't tried a hot dog bun yet, though.
No. I don't think you can fix a sway bar bowl with a hot dog bun.
Well, they got sway bars, mechanical wire, and zip ties down here trying to make it work, guys.
Well, they'll have at least another lap. Okay, 1 to go. This time by at the line, so the Pritico crew will get the tire on here and see if they can tag on to the back of the field.
And you just, it's almost like waiting for the other shoe to drop when that repair goes south, right? Like you put so much load on the right front of these cars going into the corner. I hope it works. If it does, we'll have a great story from tonight. And if Pritico can rally and make something of it, it'll be even better.
Pritico 21 down off the jack. Back on the racetrack in turn 1 while the leaders come off at turn number 4. Sheridan in the 52 up high. Shea Gemmel down low in that number 3.
DJ Kennington took a peek to the inside, thought better of it, tucked back in line behind Fitzpatrick on the break. Fitzpatrick gets a little bit loose. Lapsevich squirts out into third. Good run by the youngster in the 32.
Pritico about a half a lap back. Still some sparks spraying up from underneath the 21 machine. And maybe a good spot for him to be here for the first few laps just to see how that's going to hold together.
Well, I'm sure they're just praying for another yellow right now so they can come back and work on it. Not to mention catch up to the field. You see that pack been under green for a few laps or so. One big bunch through 3 and 4.
Too wide at the most. There's been a couple of drivers looking 3 wide. Kyle Steckley hung up behind the side-by-side battle of Rick Spencer Walton. I believe that's Patrick Friel up on the high side.
Across the stripe another time. It's 67 laps left to go. Jake Sheridan, Shea Gemmel. They have been the two to watch at the front so far here this evening. Trayton Lapsevich, how about this up to the 3rd spot?
Problem in turn 2 for Ryan Kimball. Also problem for James Horner. He's way out of shape on the backstretch after clipping the outside wall.
I think they're both going to continue. How about DJ Kennington? He started deep in the top 10.
Here's the battle for the lead. Gemmel down to the inside of Sheridan as they go into corner number 3. Gemmel will roll the bottom there. Sheridan comes up off the high side in corner number 4. At the line, Sheridan leads the lap.
How about this battle between Sheridan and Gemmel? They both cut their teeth here at Delaware Speedway. Gemmel through the trucks and the super stocks before climbing into a late model. Sheridan in a super stock and former super stock champ before getting into a late model. Doing battle up front. These two youngsters going at it.
Still a little bit of spark coming off the 21 of Pritico, but not a lot. I thought maybe low tire pressure in the right front, but still scraping something, and it looks like the sparks might be getting a little more intense on that 21 machine.
It's not far off the pace of the leaders, though. He's at an 18.4. The leaders at an 18.3 last lap, so he's still got some speed in that 21. The question is, how long will it last?
Yeah, the sparks keep getting a little bit worse every lap for that 21.
Andrew Gressel way up the racetrack in turn 4. J.R. Fitzpatrick gets by on the inside. DJ Kennington as well to the bottom of the racetrack. He looked like he was destined for the outside wall.
And J.R. Fitzpatrick picks up the spot. Kennington shuffles to the inside of Gressel. Here comes Josh Stoddy as well. Connor Pritico right behind that battle. Kyle Steckley's finally made that position up. Friel and Spencer Walt got single file, and Steckley's picked them both off.
Here comes Gemmel down to the inside of Sheridan. Sheridan had a rough go through corner number 2. The car looked like a handful, even all the way down the backstretch.
Trying to get it rotated through the middle of 1 and 2. It just keeps heading up towards that outside wall, but Shea Gemmel is not quick enough on the bottom of the racetrack to complete the pass.
59 laps to go this time by Trayton Lapsevich. This was the site of his first APC win last. Great Canadian. Sheridan and Gemmel still going at it off turn 4. This is a show.
Shea Gemmel having to work that right front pretty hard to keep pace on the bottom of the racetrack. Sheridan up on the high side. He'll continue to lead the way, does Jake Sheridan. In fact, down into turn 3, he doesn't come to the bottom of the racetrack into the racing line. He stays up high.
Good, clean racing between two of the cleanest drivers on the racetrack, between Gemmel and Sheridan. Up they go the hill up in corner 2, back down the back stretch. Gemmel's got a good run into 3.
And this is the biggest difference with the resurface of this place since years prior. Like in years prior, Shea Gemmel would have got to the bottom and it would have been over. But so much grip in that asphalt on the top. Sheridan able to hang tough, but now finally Gemmel will close the deal. We'll see if Sheridan tries to fight back or just tucks in line and rides for a bit.
Looks like Sheridan's car is just a little bit tight on corner exit. He can't keep the car rotated and head down the straightaway quite as well as Shea Gemmel. All that battling has allowed Trayton Lapsevich, J.R. Fitzpatrick, and D.J. Kennington to close that gap. A 5-car breakaway at the front of the field, and then it's Andrew Gressel trying to hold off Josh Stoddy and the rest of them behind.
Now they've got Gressel pushed off the bottom groove, and it is a land rush to the inside of that 81 machine. Stoddy first, and then Connor Pritico, as you see J.R. Fitzpatrick doing what he needs to do in 4th right now.
Well, Kyle Steckley into the 10th position here. As we noted at the top of this one, started 29th. Had the ignition problem at the start of the night. Didn't get to qualify. Started in the tail. And just before the halfway mark, Kyle Steckley up to 10th. I think that's a progress they can be happy with here in the first half.
He hasn't made much ground, though, in the last 20 laps. The first 25 laps or so were pretty easy as he was picking his way through the slower cars. But you know that when you have to come from the back, the closer you get to the front, the faster the cars are. You got to pass it. This is where he's kind of stalled.
He's got to make sure to take advantage when the doors open just like this, with Andrew Gressel sliding backwards, Danny Benedict doing the hard work to keep that door open. Kyle Steckley actually going to step up to the outside groove here and try to make a move on Benedict as Andrew Gressel pulls away from those two on the backstretch.
How about that? Kyle Steckley up in the grip strip off turn 4. He'll get Benedict on the outside. Pretty sure he should be able to make short work of this 81, and he will off turn 2.
Rick Spencer-Walt's going to try the exact same thing to the outside of Danny Benedict down the backstretch. He noses ahead into corner number 3.
Lapsevich now coming under fire for 3rd. J.R. Fitzpatrick is there. DJ Kennington as well. As you see, Steckley still got that 81 rooted off the bottom. He's going to pile it into turn 3 on the inside. The Milverton driver on the inside, the Road Warrior on the outside, Steckley on the bottom in the 22, the 81 at Gressel up top.
Just past the halfway point, 48 left to go. Leader Shea Gemmel with the 1.1 second lead right now over Jake Sheridan.
Kyle Steckley to the inside of Andrew Gressel. He'll try to clear him on the front straightaway. Down into turn number 1. Gressel drives it deep down into the turn, able to keep his nose to the outside of that number 22. Door to door down the backstretch. Rick Spencer-Walt right behind. Danny Benedict behind him.
22's getting a couple inches on him each lap. It's only a matter of time. Now, looks like he will finally clear the 81. Gressel forced to hop in line in front of Rick Spencer-Walt behind the 22. Now we'll see how good the 22 is. He's got about half a straightaway to go catch Connor Pritico and the 17 of Josh Stoddy.
So he's worked his way to 8th now, looking at Connor Pritico in that 7th spot, right ahead of him. He's got Andrew Gressel in tow, the Rick Spencer-Walt, who's starting to make a few moves here. He'll look now, take a little peek to the inside of the 81. 45 to go.
If you're Shea Gemmel, you're having things your way. 18.5-second lap, a little bit slower than Jake Sheridan. J.R. Fitzpatrick. Josh Dottie is real quick in that 17 machine.
So both those front two drivers, Gemmel and Sheridan, each got their first win at Sauble Speedway. Gemmel all the way back in 2019, Sheridan in 2021. Both of them hungry to put up that win number 2. So is Trayton Lapswich again. He was a winner last great Canadian here at Delaware Speedway.
Gemmel across the line, makes it 42 laps left to go. He'll catch Eric Della Riva at the back of the pack and work down the back straightaway. Jake Sheridan, Trayton Lapsovich, and then the point leader, J.R. Fitzpatrick, still riding in that 4th position. Not a lot of dicing going on right now in that top 5, especially that 3rd on back.
Tell you what's impressed me, Matt Pritico in that 21, still putting sparks out from under the car on corner entry, but still making great laps. Oh, trouble off of turn 4.
Jesse Kennedy got way up out of the groove off turn 4. Nice save by the driver of the 10K. And now the leaders are going to have to contend with him.
Shea Gemmel, the inside of the 10 of Jesse Kennedy. He'll go by and into corner number 3. This time by, it'll be 39 laps left to go.
That car was all but spun out in turn 4. That was a nice save by Jesse Kennedy.
Jesse Kennedy's been racing here since the 80s. Fan favorite. Right now, Shea Gemmel's got to love this. He's got lap car now between him and Jake Sheridan.
Josh Dottie just turned his fastest lap of the race.
He's working DJ Kennington right now through 1 and 2, and he's got Kennington pushed off the bottom. There goes Stottie. And now Kennington could be in some trouble because here comes Connor Pritico as well.
We're keeping an eye on Kyle Steckley. He hasn't closed the gap that much on Connor Pritico. Got by Gressel and has lengthened his advantage on him, but really not quite there to Pritico where we thought he might be when he got into the clear air.
Pritico, the youngster, going to work on the veteran DJ Kennington.
Down into turn number 1. Kennington up off the bottom of the racetrack. Pritico to the inside, and that number 19. They'll run door to door down the backstretch into turn number 3.
I think DJ's car has really picked up a push. You can see it right towards the middle of the corner. He cannot keep it on the bottom. That allowed Pritico to get under him. That was the same thing that happened a few laps before that when Stottie waltzed on by.
Differential between the top 2 still about the same. Gemmel's pulled away by another 1/10 of a second. Well, he gains another one that lap as well, so Gemmel comfortably in front, and he's got a bit of a gap now before he catches Tom Gibbons, as Sheridan will work by the lap car of Schwarzenberg.
Josh Stottie is the car on the move right now, closing in on the back of J.R. Fitzpatrick. I don't expect Fitzpatrick to give him much trouble as the 17 closes in.
The last thing Fitzpatrick needs to do is get mixed up with anything, whether it be Josh Stottie, a lapped car. Just got to keep it clean and green. Stottie right up underneath the back spoiler. Fitzpatrick will give him the outside, and Stottie will take it down into 1 and 2.
Gemmel closes in on Glenn Stires. He'll work to his outside as we watch there. Stottie by J.R. Fitzpatrick. And that'll bump him now up to the 4th position.
That Ridgeline number 17. He's had some great success this season on the racetrack. We'll see how much car he's got left. Right now, Shea Gemmel's got some lap traffic to contend with, but it's been an open racetrack for our leader in the number 3 machine.
Josh Stottie's coming in tonight 4th in points. Looks like he's probably going to remain there. He was trailing Rick Spencer-Walt and Kyle Steckley, but don't know if he's picked up enough points to pull ahead of Spencer-Walt. We'll see in the late going, but definitely J.R. Fitzpatrick's championship to lose at this point.
Some tough racing on the back straightaway. Blair Wickett in that 97 on the inside of, I believe it's Gord Shepard. They have been glued together door to door. Ryan Kimball had notions of making it 3 wide. What a battle that is.
That's all right. Pretty close in front of the leader. Behind this 3-car battle is Matt Pritico and then the leader. So Pritico about to go a lap down. As I'm surprised that car is no longer really showing any sparks and still holding together.
Who would have thought that problem would work itself out by driving it?
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Blair Wickett completes the pass on Gord Shepard, then Ryan Kimball gets to the inside. They'll battle side by side as Matt Pritico rides behind them. Shea Gemmel right behind him. So Gemmel is an interested observer in what's going on up ahead of him.
This is where things will get a little interesting for Shea Gemmel. He's got 4 pretty quick cars right in front of him. 1 lap car between he and Jake Sheridan. And Sheridan's about to have some company as Trayton Lapsevich is right there. He's cleared the Gibbons car.
The DJ Kennington car just continues to fall off. Rick Spencer Walt gets by. Danny Benedict gets by. And multi-time Pinty's champ struggling here in that 28K tonight.
Kyle Steckley caught Connor Pritico, passed him. Now he is right behind J.R. Fitzpatrick. If there's a guy that could use a caution flag, it's the driver of that 22 machine. He is continuing to march toward the front.
And we'll see how hard of a fight he gets from Fitzpatrick. Got Connor Pritico right in his back pocket. And Steckley came in tonight second in points, a long ways back from Fitzpatrick.
So Shea Gemmel has caught those cars. Matt Pritico makes a pass on Gord Shepard. Now Gemmel looking for room. Might have been a little love tap between 3 and 4 there as Gemmel goes to the inside of that 10S.
And that little bit allowed the second place driver, Jake Sheridan, to close the gap. He's a little bit closer to the 3 machine. He's got the lap car between he and the leader, but Jake Sheridan closes in just a little.
Just over 20 laps to go in this Castrol Great Canadian 100. You don't want to give Jake Sheridan much of a sniff, because if he gets close enough, you know he'll make that move. He's looking good out there in that 52 machine, closing the gap on the number 3.
Works around the lap car of Shepard. Now he's got clear sailing toward the leader. And Gemmel still trying to track down Matt Pritico. He's right there on the back bumper as they roll off corner number 4, this time by 19 to go.
There you see Sheridan working down into 1 and 2. Jake the Snake. A mere 1 second behind Shea Gemmel and coming.
Josh Stoddy has caught Trayton Lapsevich in a battle for the 3rd spot. Going on in 3 and 4. Stoddy looks to the inside off of turn number 4. Does he have enough run to make it stick down into turn 1? He gets to the inside of that 32 machine. They'll race side by side down the backstretch.
That 17's got a lot of giddy up here in the back half of this race. He has marched his way now into the 3rd position. He'll clear Trayton Lapsevich. Kyle Steckley has gotten by J.R. Fitzpatrick, as did Connor Pritico, so put Steckley up into the top 5.
You talked about Josh Stoddy. One of the big improvements of his program, he told me at the start of the year, I got to come to Delaware more. I got to get better at racing at Delaware. The team was able to put some of those resources into some Friday night shows here, and it is paying dividends for that 17. Really found some speed here at the half mile tonight. He's sitting 3rd, and that lead now has shrunk to less than a second.
Gemmel working the back end of Matt Pritico. He gets to the inside of that number 21 machine. Oh, sorry, that's Ryan Kimball. He already got around Matt Pritico.
As did Jake Sheridan. And Josh Stoddy gained a little ground that time by on the leaders. See if he gains any. That time by gives a little bit back. He had a hard time getting around Glenn Stiers there.
DJ Kennington in the midst of a battle there. Ray Morneau goes by. Jesse Kennedy is on the inside of that 28. Darrell Lake looking for racing room in the 77. Again, not far ahead of our race leader, Shea Gemmel. DJ Kennington has really been sliding backwards in that 28.
Bit of a cushion right now for leader Shea Gemmel. He's got that lap car of Ryan Kimball between he and Jake Sheridan with 12 laps left to go. But I'll tell you what, the farther they get up in lapping cars, the stronger those cars are. So it's going to be difficult here for Shea Gemmel. He's passing a bunch of cars racing for position.
Great battle going on for 8th as well. Rick Spencer Walt and the 54th Danny Benedict. They've been going at it hammer and tongs for the last couple laps. Going to be 10 to go for Shea Gemmel. Long-time runner on the series. He's been on the series pretty much since day one. Again, that one win at Sauble in 2019. And how sweet would it be for him to get that win here tonight at his home track? Has finished second here a number of times in APC events. Looking to claim the top step of the podium tonight. He's looking pretty good, but still got some fast traffic to deal with here. How quick did that 28 at Kennington fall off? He's already been lapped now.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for Kennington the last 50 laps or so in that 28K, and I believe he's going to call it a night. Oh, smoke. Where there's smoke, there's sometimes oil. Nobody seems to be sliding down into turn 3.
There's Jake the Snake Sheridan off turn 2, doing all he can to try to reel in Shea Gemmel. That lead remaining pretty much steady at about a second.
Yeah, it's been anywhere 1.1 to 1.2 and fluctuates between those two, and that's about it. That's how close these cars are. But Gemmel,
and you want to bet after all the time Shea Gemmel's been snake bitten here, he is hearing every noise in that 3 car. Again, a number of second place finishes here. A couple years ago, he led pretty much the whole race, only to be passed by Brandon Watson right at the end.
Well, he's got 5 more laps to go here in this Castrol Great Canadian 100. He's going to catch some slower traffic, so it's not going to be clear sailing for him. Jake Sheridan running in second, nearly half a straightaway the distance between first and second, but one bobble, one little mishap, and that could change everything.
At the stripe, 4 to go. And Shea Gemmel, a quiet individual, doesn't say a whole lot, lets his actions do the speaking. But if he can hold on for another 3 laps, you are going to see an excited Shea Gemmel down there in victory lane. 3 to go.
He's got 2 lap cars between he and Jake Sheridan. Josh Stoddy back there in the 3rd spot. Kyle Steckley 4th. Trayton Lapsovich has dropped back to 5th. And Connor Pritico, great run tonight in 6th.
J.R. Fitzpatrick doing what he has to. He runs 7th. 8th is Rick Spencer Walt. 9th, Danny Benedict. And rounding out the top 10, I believe he got the 9 of Brandon Watson. No, Andrew Gressel.
Andrew Gressel in the 81. 1 lap to go for Shea Gemmel as he brings it off of turn number 4. Down into 1 and 2. Darrell Lake ahead of him in the 77. He does not have to go and battle with that race car. He'll work into 3 and 4 for the final time. The Castrol Great Canadian 100 going to go to Shea Gemmel, the driver of the number 3. Jake Sheridan going to come home 2nd. Josh Stoddy in 3rd. What those drivers would not have done for a yellow flag in the closing laps. And what a race we saw here tonight. A great showing by these late model racers in their biggest race of the season.
And how about this? After dumping, 4 or 5 quarts of oil down in the turn 4 area, Brandon Watson comes back to finish 10th.
Unbelievable. Yeah, he's right up there behind Danny Benedict and Brandon Watson. That was a story I got
Gressel. I was watching that. He got Gressel right at the end.
For as hard as Andrew Gressel hard a time Andrew Gressel was having with the handle on that 81. For him to come home even that close to the top 10 is pretty impressive. But nobody quite as impressive as the driver of that number 3. The APC sponsored number 3 as he pulls up alongside series champion J.R. Fitzpatrick.
And Wade apologized. He said he still has his baby weight.
Here he comes, Shea Gemmel celebrating this victory, checkered flag in hand. He'll bring it down to the front straightaway to victory lane where Clinton Jeffrey will be there to greet him. And our series champion J.R. Fitzpatrick will wait in turn number 4 to be crowned the 2022 APC Series champion.
Well, Shea Gemmel pulls the number 3 car here into Delaware Speedway victory lane. His second great Canadian weekend. We get this one going for him, though. His second tour race, I should say. And crew and family here to give him a big congratulations. Shea already has the helmet off. He'll grab the baseball hat and get ready to jump out here. And greet all you fine Delaware fans. One of your hometown guys got it done here tonight on the tour. We'll bring him out in just a moment. He gets the VP Racing Fuels flag in hand. He'll grab a quick drink and jump out to the crowd waiting here for him. Here he comes, Delaware. How about a big victory lane welcome for Shea Gemmel. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. How about a hand for Shea Gemmel?
That's what he was waiting for. Precious cargo, Clint.
For sure. We'll let him get the moment. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? He gets it done. All right, now we get the celebration going.
I never get to jump on the race car.
Yeah, Dad would never let me climb on his car before. We'll let the celebration go on, then we'll get in here and have a word with Shea Gemmel. Obviously a special moment down here in Victory Lane. Shea, let's talk about this win here, buddy. What a great drive here tonight. You grab your second tour win. Solid drive here, Shea. You got to be impressed. Jamie was talking about what you must have been hearing up there. A lot of second place finishes for this team. But man, how hard was it for you to, just keep your composure at the end of this one and not hear those gremlins coming alive?
Yeah, we had a really good, strong season, and we've proven we brought in fast cars to a lot of the tracks, and we had uncircumstances, the mechanical failures. But no, this team doesn't give up. We show up every single race. We're here to win. And tonight we brought in an amazing car. McCall Enterprises, Mike McCall, Joe, everyone that works on this thing, it is an absolute rocket today. You have to thank Castrol for their supporting the series, putting on this whole week, and you got to thank everyone. Thanks a lot. I have to thank own sponsors, APC, Canusa, Miami Muscle, Ray Collins Chevrolet, Epic Racewear, Canusa Automotive, Deckle Dave does an amazing job keeping this car clean, even though I'm a little rough on it, but he always helps me out. Man, we won this great Canadian. It's taken me 7 years. Woo!
Gemmel gets it done, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll watch the celebrations continue here on the roof. We'll get over here and talk to second and third. Excuse us, guys. Hold on. We'll get over here and talk to Jake Sheridan. Jake, second place run, man. You're in the battle all night. You want to be winning this race, but this is still a great finish on a big weekend for you and a great bit of momentum to carry into tomorrow's NASCAR race.
For sure, definitely pumped for tomorrow. But this is, this race was coming home. This was about our team, our family. We really, really like coming here, and got a couple of wins here this year. So I was hoping to pick it up here. But it's too bad. We were just really, really, really struggling on the short run. Really, it's just so out of the track. Took 15 laps really to get us going. So we did what we could. Shea had a really good car. He gave us a fight in the bottom. It's hard to do here. So he obviously ran a great race, had a good car, and we were decent. We come a long way since practice, but we were struggling a bit all day, and we just got really tight and. Just the short runs, man. Like I said, 20 laps were good. I think if we had a quick caution, we would have really had something for him there. I was digging on the bottom hard coming out of 2 there. So All my guys work really, really hard, man. This season was a struggle for us, especially in this series. We did all right locally, but this series was a struggle. So everybody worked really hard. I really, really appreciate that. So really, really just got to thank everyone that stuck with us all year long. We had some rough luck in this series and a couple DNFs. So really want to thank I-82 Construction, Cameron Crane and Riggers. Pride Seeds has been huge, man. Pride Seeds have been with me since Superstock days here, and they got a couple of reps here tonight, so I'm really, really, really happy they showed up and we could put up a good show for them. So clean race, no damage really, just before I go anywhere too, Vibrant Farms, they saved the best for last year. They really stepped up this season, really stepped up for my race tomorrow. They're on the rocker panel, and I wouldn't be where I am without those people. So really, really supportive, really thankful for everybody involved. It was a really family-oriented deal for us. So can't thank everyone enough. And APC and Castrol put on a great event today. Castrol, a big sponsor for our series, and super thankful we get to come out here and do what we do.
Get to bed. You got a long day tomorrow, Jake.
That's right, 250 laps. Really looking forward to it.
Jake Sheridan will get over here and talk to Josh Stoddy, our third-place finisher here tonight. Josh, great run for you tonight. I'm sure you'd like to be better. As always, you want to be first if you can. But, man, not a bad rebound for this season. I mean, we saw you have such a horrible season last year on the tour. You were fast, but the luck wasn't there. This year, you got the win. Things are going well. Your car's looking good. You're running good. Can you be happy how your season ended off?
Oh, yeah. I'm beyond stoked to have a season end like this. This thing was on rails. I needed about 10, 15 more laps, and I was coming. But I can't thank Ridgeline, APC Auto Parts, Vinny's Masonry, Canadian Flat Roof Systems. They're all here with me tonight, and I'm just happy that we could bring it home in a podium finish.
Solid job. Josh Stoddy, third. Jake Sheridan, second, and your winner tonight, Shea Gemmel. Hang tight, guys. We'll send it up to you for a couple minutes. We still have the champion to come into victory lane to talk to the 2022 champ.
Greg, let's take a look through a full field rundown. We've obviously seen the top three. They're parked there on the front stretch. Kyle Steckley fourth in the 22, and Trayton Lapsevich fifth in the 32.
6 through 10, Connor Pritico, the champion, J.R. Fitzpatrick there in 7th, and Rick Spencer-Walt. Danny Benedict 9th, and Brandon Watson, as Jamie mentioned, that rally back to the 10th spot.
11th through 20th is Andrew Gressel in the 81, the 8 of Patrick Friel, the 03 of Ray Morneau, the 77, Darrell Lake, Blair Wickett in the 97, the 29 of Ryan Kimball, Matt Pritico in the 21, Sean Chenoweth in the 89C, Gord Shepard in the 10S, and Tom Gibbons rounds out the top 20.
21st through 29th, Billy Schwarzenberg, Jesse Kennedy, Eric Delariva, Glenn Stiers comes home 24th, DJ Kennington wound up 25th, and then it was Dale Shaw, James Horner, Matt Box, and Barry Watson. The running order at the conclusion of 100 laps here in the Castrol Great Canadian 100 at Delaware Speedway as we get ready to officially crown J.R. Fitzpatrick the 2022 APC Series champion.
Fabulous race. I mean, 29 cars took the green flag. We really didn't wreck a single one of them, which is fantastic here at Delaware Speedway. Thrilled to see the Wade Watson fashion show is still ongoing. Oh, sorry, Jamie, I had you turned off.
I did get I did
So
get
does Wade.
I did get a message from my better half down in the stands, and she says the next time you have to go to camping supplies, she wants to go with you to go get camping supplies.
Yeah, I could use someone.
What happened to Angie? I thought Angie looks after you. Did she just turn you loose this weekend?
She puts up with me. There's a big difference.
She has Yeti drink cooler things bigger than those camp chairs.
So many. So many. So we await the word that we're ready to go with celebrations on the front straightaway. Still some photos being taken in victory lane with a happy Shea Gemmel. 7 years. 7 years it took him to win this race. There's a lot of people who never win this great Canadian race, but when you've been as competitive as Shea Gemmel is, as fast as he's been, those milestone wins, those things that you really look for, it can be frustrating.
It's the close calls that make it seem even harder when you get so close to it. And for Shea Gemmel to wrap it up here tonight and do it in convincing fashion.
And I'm doing the rough math. Shea came into tonight 8th in points. He might have scored enough points tonight to move up into the top 5.
Nice. He did everything he had to do, right?
Led the most laps. Won the race.
So the Gemmel number 3 has cleared victory lane. Well, we'll wait for Jake Sheridan and Josh Stoddy to do the same. Is it just me, or did Fitzpatrick's crew get a lot bigger? That is a throng of people down in victory lane.
Everybody shows up for the championship pictures.
It's like Patriot fans.
Well, we ask everybody on the front straightaway to watch your back as we bring the champion into victory lane. And we'll get him around here. Crew going to push the 84 car here into victory lane, and we'll get ready to go.
There, the path is clear for the 84.
He said it at the top. Points racing is tough because that's not J.R. Fitzpatrick's style, but he did what he had to do.
And he did what he had to do the first half of this season. He really came out and showed he was the car to beat. And for the first part of the year, it really didn't happen. People weren't beating J.R. Fitzpatrick, so that's what put him in this position. Clinton Jeffrey, take it away.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a long, hard-fought season. He did it well, he did it fast, and he's the champ. Here he comes. J.R. Fitzpatrick wins the 2020 APC Tour Championship. JR, come on around. Let's have a talk with you. JR, great drive. I mean, this crew worked flawless for you all year. This car was fast. You managed to come out tonight and get it done. What does it mean to be the 2022 APC Series champ? You said it meant a lot. It's yours, man.
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, this team worked so hard, especially after a year we had last year. It wasn't much fun, so people who brought me up, like all my friends behind me, my family, Taylor Holdaway for putting the love back in the sport for me, and just everybody on this team, McCall Enterprises for building me a rocket ship, and man, they sprayed me in the eye. It's burning.
Oh, you got more coming, bud. Just hang tight. Talk about what it means, though. You know, what's the future plan, JR? This series is big here, right?
It's getting bigger every year. I mean, this is only our 4th season full time, and it's getting bigger every year. And to say we won 2 of these is pretty incredible. While I'm here, I got to thank, obviously, all the sponsors. Dave Wood, love you, buddy. From Meineke Car Care, Transaxle, H2Go Mobile Wash, Cambridge Rigging, ATV Depot, and this whole team behind me. Holy crap.
Awesome, JR. You got it done. Grab that trophy. Hold it up high. Let's get the champ a beer here. I'll crack it for you, JR. How about that? Can I have a cheers with you? How about that? He's going to get the crew back. How about it, J.R. Fitzpatrick, your champion, guys? He'll get it done. That'll conclude things here from trackside.
I almost thought we were going to see a Stone Cold Steve Austin moment there for a minute.
That would have been all right. John Fitzpatrick in the background, joining the celebration. Man, they brought out a whole box of beer.
Well, guys, it's been a great season. You guys did it from start to finish, and I was glad to be here for a couple of these ones, but the APC series just continues to pick it up a level every year.
Yeah, I think the crew behind the series has done a great job, whether it be, Luke Ramsey at the top, Dave Graham, Daryl Timmermans, all the tech staff, all the marketing staff at APC. And it's just great when you've got a company like APC who's so racing driven. That they're involved in and support the season like this or the series like this. And again, to close it up here at Delaware, I hope everybody's impressed with the renovations that went on there here this year. It's made for some great racing. We saw more of it tonight.
And, they couldn't do it. They wouldn't do it without the fans. So everything that went on the last 2 years, 2020, 2021, positioning to get us back to a big 2022, culminating in this weekend, which has been fantastic. We're not done yet, but what a great, great weekend. Some phenomenal racing, great action on the track, hard-fought battles, and J.R. Fitzpatrick celebrating with his family down in Victory Lane. A well-deserved APC championship, only the second driver to be able to win multiple APC Series championships. And I'm just excited for the years to come. There's a lot of teams stepping up their game. And we've got a long relationship with the APC series with GeForce TV, so I'm pretty pumped up with the fun we're going to have, Greg.
And the fun continues tomorrow afternoon here at Delaware Speedway for the NASCAR Pinty's Series. In the Pinty's Fall Brawl, the championship decided tomorrow right here at Delaware Speedway. You'll be able to see that on Flow Racing and the TSN Go app. So make sure you tune in for that. Or better yet, make your way right here to Delaware Speedway and join in on the action tomorrow afternoon. Going to be a great one. And don't forget, we're not done on G-Force just yet. Next weekend, we'll be down at Humberstone Speedway in Port Colborne, Ontario, where we'll decide the championships for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series and the Action Sprint Tour presented by Pinty's. Lots of dirt racing still to come next Friday and Saturday night right here on G-Force TV. Any final thoughts, guys?
Just excited for tomorrow. It's been a great weekend so far. Obviously, the Pinty's race tomorrow, and of course the big minivan bounty hunt that we're going to see in the King of the Hill National. So hopefully the weather holds off tomorrow. We can get that in. Hopefully everybody watching on TV who wasn't able to join us here tonight will look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
It's been a great time for the team here at G-Force TV. Clinton Jeffrey, Greg Callan, Jamie Maudsley. I'm Adam Ross saying so long. We will see you next time at the races. It's been a blast.
Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of G-Force TV. G-Force TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.